Tonight's show, we have special guest Devon Duerr as we tag team readings for our 2026 forecast for all 12 signs, and we're answering all your personal questions with live readings coming up right now.
Does it look like a Devon or David?
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You still like something your end table that you live too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if she's showing me flowers, like relay them or redo them. These purple flowers.
Oh my God, Scott, the flowers are right there. My orchids are purple. They completely are dead.
Yeah.
Did you even know? You nailed everything, every single thing. Listen, everyone, this guy.
There needs to be a connection with like a Native American ancestry. And they're showing me a turquoise stone. Yes.
I just went to a Native American dance class and I wore this stone.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
Who doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Camera's psychic who first questioned Brooke's cancer.
Scott Cruz.
Oh, there you won! You won!
You better question yourself. We're here to bring enlightenment, not confusion.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here? We've all co-created this matrix. So if you don't like the matrix, that's you saying that you don't like your own reality, what you're creating for yourself. So we're all equal participants of the creation of this matrix. I don't just come on here and talk shit, repeat shit. I'm living it.
In harmony with nature.
Happy Thursday night, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Cruisyverse. How's y'all week been? We're in Scorpio season, and we're just a day away, or 2 days away from November and Halloween Eve. Wait, Halloween's tomorrow, actually, right? Yeah. So it's an interesting week, and as Devon just informed me that it's Mercury's shadow, so things are getting a little hectic and cray-cray a little bit, and so I kind of had a little bit of that an hour before the show. I'm like, what's going on here? So, but it's been an interesting week overall, too. I would say interesting year, because we've had our ups and downs for sure. But I've been saying, approaching November, it's really a huge month of solidification, crystallization, as I said last time, that we need to start putting together what we truly want and who we truly are. We say it all the time, it's repetitive in the spiritual communities, but it's time to really be conscious, because we've done so much seed sowing, right? And sowing those seeds, and now we're reaping the rewards of what we've sown. And now it's time for us to say the things that came in are actually pushing the old out too. And now we're able to really kind of solidify who we truly are, where we truly want to be, all that wonderful stuff. So we'll get into depths of that as Devon comes on. We'll do a collective read together, and then we'll also do our all signs. And it's gonna be very quick. We're gonna kind of give you like quick insight to 2026 for all signs, and then we'll open up to live readings for both of us, tag team readings. So it sounds like a plan, Stan, right? Let's quickly see who's Chatty Cathy in the room. We got Noelle Way, sister from another mister. What's going on, girl? Good to see you. Brenda Tarot and readings. Brenda Tarot card readings. Sorry, the font is this big on my end. Happy Thursday to you as well. David Cruz, good to see you, my dad, actually. Horses Triggered Hope, good to see you, Karma. Jennifer Cruz, my mother. Nina, a wonderful mod, Nina is in the room. So if you want to get your questions in, guys, get them in now. 30 for one question with Devon and I, and 42 questions for Devon and I, and also a live video with Devon and I, $50. And the PayPal and Venmo links are in the description below. So, and our wonderful mod, Nina, will help you get there and get you situated if you have any questions, okay? And unfortunately, the live video can only be done through Venmo, the payment, because I need to respond and give the link to call in to talk to us. So yes, get those in now before it gets too late. Sparkle Ingrid, good to see you. Yes, Sparkle Ingrid says, yay, my two favorite people are together. Oh, sorry, there you are. My two favorite people are together once again. We're together again. So yes, those you don't know, Devon and I first started on Leading Out Loud. And so, yes, it's been a wonderful time getting, and even though she's no longer Leading Out Loud with us, we still chat. We still chit chat. And so we're still very much close, even though we're not working on the show together. Sydney Aaron, good to see you. Sister from another Mr. April Sparks, good to see you as well. Darby Mabry, Ellie Taylor, Tammy Connor, Iggy, can't you see? That's right. And those of you, I'm just going to kind of briefly go down the list here. James Porterfield, good to see you as well. Lisa Cruz, my sister from the same Vista, good to see you. Janelle Haugen, good to see you. Tina Smith. And those who are watching can't see, can only see who's Chatty Cathy in a room. And so without further ado, we're going to bring on Devon Duerr, who is a spiritual teacher. She's also was known to me as being an angel communicator. So she is an angel divine channel. And sometimes I call her Angel because she's such an angel. But she's an author as well, and she has her own show too. But here we are. We're going to welcome aboard Devon Duerr. Devon, what's going on?
Hey, Scott. Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, this has been a much awaited time to get together. I'm so excited to be here.
And I want to kind of give, I was trying to give this introductory to you here, but this, for not, better late than never, but a little bit of a little applause. I don't know if you heard that. Aww. And you are probably echoing. Let me get my headphones on too.
Just a little bit, but I also, I see so many familiar chat, so I have to give a huge shout out to everybody too. All of you, it is like coming home. Thank you guys. It's so great to see all of you here.
Home. Yes, exactly. And so tell us what you've been up to. Like anything new, anything exciting lately that you've been kind of doing that you want to maybe share with people that maybe who haven't been following you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, well, just my big passion is sharing messages with others to empower them to use their own natural born intuitive abilities. So that's always what you'll hear from me is you have natural born intuitive abilities. You have an ability to increase them if you work on it. It's like going to the gym. You got to build that muscle. But yeah, I'm over on my YouTube channel at Devon Duerr. I share messages at least once a week to kind of boost you. And I'm a huge advocate of activating light workers. And I really feel like a lot of people don't know they're light workers, maybe they do, they're just not afraid, they're not willing to like step out and do it. And I think it's all about community. So my big thing has been about building community. So I have a community at devonduerr.com that you can join and meet other people who are interested in things like this. Because when I was first doing this professionally, I was like, who else does this in Texas? You know what I mean? So, so yeah, my big passion has really been just about supporting others who want to understand their natural born intuitive abilities. So,
and also too, and I always found it intriguing because you were doing marketing before, right? You weren't even doing any spiritual work before, and just like
it was accounting actually, very left brain.
Yeah, very left brain. But I say this because many people have spiritual gifts and don't know how to get it started because they're also doing kind of very left brain type of work. So I think it's inspiring that you took that leap, you took that jump. And I think that's very inspiring that, yes, you could teach people, you could have a normal job and then bounce and go very woo-woo and make a wonderful profession even doing that.
You can, but it's not easy. Like you need your community, right? Like that's what, it's not easy to go from this very like, I don't know, traditional type of persona, right? And then to like, wait, what is she doing? What's happening? I saw something she posted on Instagram. What's happening? So yeah, so that's why it turned into, yes, you're right. Like it started off with me doing like one-on-one readings and like holding group. I started teaching journaling workshops, which I still do, but it's like, I realized what's really missing is there's a lot of people out there like us, Scott, that they don't even know how to like do the next thing. And even if you don't want to like hang a shingle and say, I'm a psychic or I'm an astrologer, you can still help the world. You can still help your loved ones, but you're like, it's like, how do you start? So that's been my big thing is about creating a community where people can come and learn and share and all that. Yeah. Right.
No, exactly. And there's a lot of people, that are empaths. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to take, like you said, a spiritual route. You can actually dive into an empath-like career, which could be therapy or counseling or social working. So those are things you can do. Yeah, because the soul is like calling out to express that now. There's so many people awakening to those abilities. And so, and even in your own jobs, you can somewhat apply that for now, and then that will
even as an accountant, really honestly, like back when I did my small business consulting, I would get the most excited about helping entrepreneurs, like small business, because they were following their heart. They were like, I'm going to do this. This is going to be a thing. And I was like, how can I help you? And so like so many teachers, of course, nurses and anybody in the medical profession, like, even like construction workers and everybody out there, there's a lot of them that they're doing it because they have a real passion, and yet they're not giving themselves credit for it. And so they're not really sharing how much. I feel like if they knew how much they were using their gifts, then they would grow them, and it would just be so amazing. Which we have Pluto and Aquarius, and that's what that's all about right now, guys.
100%. Amen, Sister Man. Yeah. So with that said, we should probably start shuffling for a collective read. See, let's kind of give a gist of the week ahead before we get into the 12 signs. Just we'll quickly kind of give a forecast. So I'm going to shuffle my cards here, and we'll kind of like, I'll go first, you go second. You can kind of bounce back and forth and kind of see what we can concur on, and if they match.
We're doing this upcoming week right now.
This upcoming week, yeah, kind of like the forecast of the next week or so.
Got it.
And then we'll get into our 2026 one by one. So let's see what we got here. And of course, I always remind people I'm a psychic medium. I only use cards like for collective purposes as a guide, but I can go in a bar and be like, reading in there, when it's noisy.
Oh, okay, yeah, he can. I know from personal experience.
Yes, and Noelle just flicked the card. Noelle just, every time I'm shuffling, Noelle gets a card
Hey,
flicked.
Noelle.
This is your card, Noelle, so you flicked that out of the deck. So perhaps you're undefeating. Yeah, she's undefeating herself here. Okay. Interesting. And I'll just quickly start as you're shuffling too, because mine's a mess, but that's also a tell sign of what's going on here. There's going to be a lot of busyness this next week. And, Jeb and I were kind of talking about this before. There's going to be a lot of irritations, things that maybe have slightly irritated you in the past are going to resurface. So you're going to be very irritable, I would say, this week, but don't let that get too far to where you you really entrench in that irritability. Find out what you're actually irritated about, because that irritation is telling you what you've been doing that's been irritating you, because it might come very quickly with relationships, lover quarrels, and all that wonderful things, and might even come with even situations that are very dense in your physical conditions and so forth, and you might just start feeling everything's becoming irritated. Your physical surroundings are becoming like, what's going on? And I had a bit of a gist of this. But understand, it's going to come in and come out. Knight of Swords is very quick energy. Comes in quick, but goes out quick too. But there's a mission for this. There's a reason. Because as we evolve, as we embark in, to November, and you start solidifying your voice, you're going to have... I just pulled up. Did you see that, Devon? Just pulled out my mic, my earpiece. You're going to have to, and pull the earpiece out. You're going to have to understand what those little irritations are, because they're really congesting your overall perspective. They're congesting your voice. It's congesting how you're actually seeing other people, because I've found when I look at irritations, it's a lot deeper than just an irritation. It's a judgment. It's a lack of tolerance to something. It's being somewhat closed-minded to something, right? So when we dive deep with that, I think that we'll allow ourselves to really push ourselves forward and eliminate those irritations that have been going on for quite some time. So again, I would say do not take this personally. Do not take this as far as there's something wrong with these situations. Understand these little triggers are there for a reason, but they've always been there for such a long time. Once we do, then we can be more clear about what to get rid of, what to bring in, and that will start the solidification process that I've been very much repetitive about for November. So let me just see also what came out, because my cards are scattered. Devil card, Lover's card, Knight of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles, and now we're getting the High Priestess card. So it's like it's all over the place, actually. And so with the High Priestess card, it is advising that what Jeff and I were saying before, a lot of you guys might start feeling your spiritual abilities resurrect. You might start feeling like if you were not like intuitive before, like somehow you're hit with a burst of intuition, or some sort of supernatural experience occurs during this time. There's a burst of such. And sometimes when things get too dense, and then you're intertwining that with more intensity, things will burst even in a spiritual, non-physical way. And I think a lot of guys might have that experience too moving forward. And the advice I would say based on all that of what's occurring is with the Sun card and the Hangman card, it really is all about making sure you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Not to sound too cliche, but understand these things are shedding light on what your true happiness really is and the other side of all that. And the Hangman card is that spiritual awakening, turning things upside down in a new paradigm. So please understand this next week, guys. These irritations are there to remind you what you've been doing that's been irritating yourself all along. And it's time to clear that out. So Devon, what you got for this week ahead?
Well, I got the Sun card as well, and I also got the Moon card.
Okay.
Which, honestly, like what was first coming through was just, again, going back to, if you're here watching this right now, you have some understanding of your own natural born abilities, you're at least aware that you have things outside of you that are influencing you, energy. And what we're talking about here is this idea of unifying the collective, unifying each other, and raising the vibration of the entire planet. So what happens when we start all working together is things get really jarring. I want you guys to have 2 questions you're going to ask yourself. Is this a distraction, right? Is this a distraction? That's the first question I want you to ask. And is this in some way a way I can find the humor? Because for the most part, things that are annoying you, especially like you said, Scott, starting now, we've got a full moon next week. And it's a powerful one in Scorpio. I'm sorry, in Taurus, because we're in Scorpio.
Right.
So it's an opposing energy.
Yep.
This is about, do you want the things you want badly enough? Now, we don't want to go into a place of lack, but it really is. If you really get focused on something and then you're getting 10,000 phone calls and you're like, oh, I'm just trying to get this project done. Or if you're like, oh, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the gym and have a healthy meal. And then your best friend calls you up and is like, let's go get coffee. And then the traffic's bad and all the things, right? It's like, ask yourself, is this a distraction? Like how, because I think that what we're going to see over this next week, and I have this 9 of Fire card, which is literally talking about protecting what you're creating. We're going to see everything on the planet seeming like it's trying to stop us from the thing we want to do. And if you can laugh it off, if you can say, I see you, I know that's a pop quiz, you're not going to shake me like this, I'm going to still go for what I want, then you're going to get to that sun card. And so, yeah, Scott, spot on. Like, I'm getting exactly what you're talking about. And I really think sometimes we're going to have to tell people, no, I have this justice card here. And for me, this is like taking things off your calendar, taking things off your to-do list, being willing to see the higher view and go, you know what? I'm not going to let this stop me from where I'm going. It might be a little bit of a setback. We do have Mercury going retrograde for almost all of November. Take your time. Like, the universe doesn't move that quickly, you know? So how does that resonate with you, Scott?
No, I mean, it was a great compliment to what I was saying, because you're going to feel this, like, I'm trying to focus on what I want to do, and there's all these other distractions, and it's like, they've always been there. And I think now, like, when we run ourselves to the ground, there comes a point where we can't anymore. You know, and so that might mean that maybe you have too many obligations going on and that you have to cut some of those obligations out. Maybe you're saying yes to too many people, like you said, right? So it's definitely a moment. I feel like these moments, to me, and I have to remind myself, because in the moment when you get frustrated and irritated, it's really hard to be like, you know, love and light in that moment, right? But so afterwards, I tend to want to reflect immediately after I feel like a detachment from it and say, what really was getting to me? Like, and for what purpose and why? And what have I been doing that's been creating more of that? So yes, wonderful, I would say, addition and compliment to the reads that I got too. So it really came full circle. So that's awesome. And so it's going to be, I would say, an interesting November, to say the least. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I just have to say, it's so fun seeing all these familiar names and faces in the chat. Thank you guys so much. We love seeing where you're tuning in from too. And Scott, like, that's exactly what I've been feeling too, with the energy of like, why did that trigger me? If that's another question you can ask yourself, and that's going to last us pretty much until like 2039, if we can ask ourselves that, you know.
Hoorah. So, yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's your best defense, really. I mean, it's like, what is it about that upset me versus what they said that or whatever. So I love that you say that.
Yeah. I mean, and I always say too, just like to dovetail it just a little bit and then we'll move on to the 12 signs, is that, you know, don't we just get sick of feeling that way? You know, don't we just get sick of being irritated? Don't we get sick of like feeling deprived or feeling rushed? Don't we get sick of that? So what's the solution? And I think, like, if we ask ourselves this and be more introspective, like, I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of being frustrated. So what can I do to like balance things out? Maybe, saying no. I'm glad you said that, because there will be a time this week that you have to say no to a lot of things, you know, so.
With the full moon, with this full moon, it's, you know, it's opposing Scorpio. Scorpio figures out the issue Scorpios can walk into a room. There's a bunch of people sitting around a table going, we should do this or we should do this. And they're arguing. They're like, what's going on? And the Scorpio is like that. They're like that right there. Like, do that. And everyone's like, where? Oh, but then now what? Like now you got to get everybody on board to do it. And then you have this moon in Taurus, which is like manifesting things and making the changes.
Yeah.
You have a chance right now to cut things out of your life that you don't want to see here when we get into Taurus season in April. 100%.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And because even Scorpio's season is really about setting those boundaries too. It's just so on par, to all that. But and I want people to understand. Like you always say, Eric always jokes. He's like, there's always something with astrology that's going wrong. He always says, in that way, because he doesn't know so much about it. And I say, well, it's just not so much going wrong, just telling you what the challenges are, but it's the duality to the challenge, and so just as I always say, there's duality to our character. Someone can be sensitive and be sensitive where they're empathetic, or sensitive where they take everything personally, right? And so we can find the dual nature between the essences of what the astrology is. So I always find it as an opportunity to say, that's where I'm upgrading. If there's strife and irritation, like, that's where I'm upgrading my life. And so we should look at these astrological currents, not as far as like, it's retrograde. People always blame retrograde. It's going to go crazy. Well, I always say retrograde tells me where I'm spreading myself too thin, and tells me when I need to slow down, and so that's a blessing for me, because I'm like, slow down period just for me, right? And so we understand how to ride that wave and that current. Boy, do we just soar. And so,
Yeah. And you see everyone around you kind of struggling, fighting against the current, because you're right. It's not really good or bad energy. It's more like challenging or less challenging. And usually the challenging energy is where you get the biggest leap forward if you can overcome it.
Right. Does it sound cheesy? Does it sound self-righteous when I say every time something bad happens, I'm like, something good is about to come out of this? Does that sound? Because that's how I always see it, And I from other people watching, like, I've told to somebody else, and like, you don't do that. I'm like, I do though. I do that. I do think that way, Yeah. So I would want people to make that to be their norm too,
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Let's hop in, and just before further ado, I was telling you to say your last name. Let's start with Aries. Wonderful Aries for 2026, and I'll let you go first with Aries.
We're going to do the Aries bottom. Oh, we're doing the bottom. Okay, I thought it was
right there. Can you see it? Can you see it down there? I moved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I don't have to be Vanna White. We got it done here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going first for Aries.
Yeah, you'll go first on Aries. Yeah. We'll go back
for Aries. Yeah, sure. For Aries, I've got the Page of Air here, and I've got the Star card. And boy, are you guys going to be the star in 2026. The key for Aries that I was seeing, I just did my 2026 overview. Every October, I do the year ahead on my YouTube channel, and I was looking at the Aries stuff going on, and you guys, you've had a lot of people telling you not to do things, and boy, nothing makes an Aries more mad usually, or it makes them doubt themselves, which you shouldn't, Aries, because you're amazing. And so there's a lot of stuff about just kind of trying to let stuff be water under the bridge with this Page of Air card. I don't read literally. I don't do it literally like tarot. I read intuitively, just for those of you who don't know me. And so when I saw this card immediately, I was like, somebody said something, and it just made you want it more. Like, it was like, you're going to tell me not to do that? Well, then I'm definitely going to do that. And then this Star card is like, well, of course you are, Aries, because you're going for it. So what's coming up for you for that, Scott? It's so funny. Star card for me was the first card for Aries, right? And I'll explain my interpretation too. And then, of course, the Six of Swords. You said water under the bridge. That's when I was shaking my head. It's amazing. And then I got the Seven of Cups in reverse. And then I got the Peace card and Ballast Oracle card. So I'll explain what I mean by that. So for me, the Star card is exactly that. It's about getting the attention you deserve. I feel Aries had made a lot of progression in 2025. There's been a lot of rehaunting of their past, of the regrets,
I regret not making that decision, or I regret not asking that person out. So a lot of resurfaced for Aries in 2025. 2026, it's almost like they've came to terms with it. They've accepted it. Now they're living it. Like, yes, like you said, they're in that light version of such. And the water on the bridge energy with the Six of Swords for me is really saying there's going to be a lot of movement. There may be more travel for Aries in 2026, an actual move for Aries in 2026, and also water under the bridge. Maybe that trip is overseas, like it's something grand when it comes to movement in that sense. And with the Seven of Cups in reverse, you guys were living a little bit of delusion in 2024 and 2025, Aries. A little bit of delusion, and a little bit in your own, world in a sense. You're breaking that now. Like, you're going to see things for what they truly are, embracing that. And that is why we got the Peace, Oracle card with the Balance Oracle card, because I know it sounds rather cliche, but if you ask yourselves this, do you really know what peace means? We could say peace, but do you really know? When you say peace, do you know what peace really feels like? But imagine knowing what peace really feels like. Imagine what balance. What balance really feels like. So we could be very cliche in the spiritual communities and say, oh, it's all about balance. We hear it all the time, but then we're just like, what is the power behind that? But do you know what that feels like? And so Aries, your 2026 looks like you'll know what it feels like to have that balance and that actually internal peace. So good stuff.
Yeah, I love it. And can I just add real quickly? I also pulled the success card. I don't know if you can see it for the camera, but with Neptune retrograding back into Pisces last week, Aries is going to feel like, wait a minute, I thought I just took one step forward and now it feels like two steps back. But like exactly what you were talking about, Scott, once Neptune and Saturn are fully into Aries, it's going to be like it's a game changer for all of us, because we all have Aries in our sign, but especially Aries. And I feel like what you were saying about the delusion is going to be like, I'm finally coming up for air. And so the only thing I would say is with Saturn in your sign, take your time. Which is not always easy for Aries. Like, I know, I get it, but also take your time, because you have Saturn there wanting you to do things right, dot your I's, cross your T's. So I'm excited for Aries for 2020.
Me too. And I actually feel they will naturally be patient. Like, I was getting the sense that like they'll be accepting of whatever is going on. So like, I'm patient with what's happening. So I actually think they will find that patience, which is wonderful. Yeah. So
I love it.
Good for you, Aries. All right, next up, we're popping this like hotcakes. It's Taurus. Wonderful Taurus. You want me to go first with Taurus?
Sure, go for it.
I think it'd be fair. Like, I go first, you go first. This way we both don't. This way we can show the audience we're not copying each other in a sense.
Absolutely.
That the synchronicity is unplanned, right? I always wonder about that. Okay, let's see. Taurus, your cards are really clunky. Oy vey. Okay. I'm just shuffling a little more here because I feel like I need a closure card. Okay, interesting. All right. And let me just shuffle an oracle too as well. Sometimes I pull 3, sometimes Spirit's like 5, sometimes Spirit's like 2. So whatever Spirit wants me to do, I do. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So we start with the 5 of Cups, dear Taurus. There is going to be a significant loss in 2026. Either that loss comes from a family member, loss of a position, decline of something that's going to, I would say, show to you that you needed to get rid of that all along, or you need to make that change all along, or you need to push yourself all along. Now, that loss may not happen for all Tauruses. It just might mean that something puts you in gear to be like, you know what, it's time to let go of this position I've been in. And so, but there will be a realization of something that you were doing that was causing you to deprive of yourself. There's going to be a lot of that introspective work. With the Chariot card, though, it feels like you'll do the work, but you almost like you feel like you're finally riding in style in life. You'll feel like you're actually, taking the higher road on things. You're experiencing the high life in a sense that you've always envisioned you would. You're now allowing yourself to. Because you're finally taking responsibility, saying, well, I screwed up. I made those decisions. I'm the one who created these losses. I'm the one who, knocked myself down. So therefore, I can move forward too. So that realization is going to be very, very, very keen on you. The Tempest card after that says that you also will be finding that patience within, the nurturing within, what that really means. Because I know Tauruses are hard to really understand the self-nurturing, because it's all about everybody else's attention. But you'll find this. And this is where, to me, the Ace of Pentacles comes and says, because of all all of these qualities you've really embraced within yourself, that's just going to be a financially good year. So I feel like in 2026, there'll be some financial moves, financial investments, or even if you're looking to move in that sense and level up, there's a leveling up in that sense too, because of what you've realized that you've lost, you've actually shifted and turned it into a gain. And so focus and fear come about in the Oracle card. So it's really all about, really focusing on that fear, the fears that you've been having, that you've been pacifying. And Tauruses are like the bull in the china shop. They have fear about something. That's okay. I'm going to keep going. They don't want to address it. They don't want to look at it, but you're going to be forced to look at that fear. And that same thing with the Five of Cups, the same context. And I think it's going to hit you to where you'll understand. So this might be the last chapter for Tauruses of that self-deprecating and self-defecating, as I like to say as a joke, stance, and understand it is me, but it's everybody else too, and having that synergy. And thankfully, and thanks to Pluto and Aquarius, that humanitarianism energy rubbing off on them too. But it's going to be probably a rough 2026 emotionally for them, but it's going to snap in gear really quick, probably by March or April of 2026, and they'll start feeling this abundance of newness and so forth coming through. What do you got there, Devon?
Yeah, well, I've got the Strength card for Tauruses for 2026. I've got the Seven of Earth, and I've got this Oracle card, Passions and Interests. And what was first coming through for me is Tauruses have you've been through the grind. You've been through the grind. Uranus was in your sign for a very long time. And a lot of what you're talking about, Scott, I feel like they already know what needs to go. It's either gone or it needs to go, and they know it. They've had to really be strong to endure a lot of the crud that's been going on for Tauruses. But with the Seven of Earth card, it's just that reminder that when you're in your power, Tauruses, you are so patient. You are so kind. You are you're so prepared, and people look to you for that. And so when you feel in your power is when you finally see, all right, I didn't even really, those things that left my life suddenly, these could be relationships, jobs, whatever, like suddenly moving, big changes. I have seen that for a lot of Tauruses, but now you're getting to do things that you really are excited about. And what I'm seeing with a lot of Tauruses too, is it's actually stuff that they didn't even want to admit they loved. And now that there's an opportunity to do it, go for it. Okay. Tauruses, you have that opportunity to be like, you know what? Screw it. Like everything has been totally disrupted. I'm going to go do the thing I really want to do. And you have this opportunity. This is your full moon next week. This is the Taurus full moon for you guys. So you get a head start from a lot of the other signs for 2026 to really go after your passions. And that's one of the reasons I like doing this topic so early, Scott, is because I don't think New Year's Eve is the time to set intentions. I think we should be doing it way sooner.
That's true. Yep.
And so Taurus is like, I see a really amazing, abundant year for you. Just remember how good you are at being patient if it's something you care about, because this is a card of patience, but the reward is coming.
Yeah, and again, don't define it as losses, Tauruses. Don't define whatever happens as a loss. And it might feel like that at first, like a kick in the gut, but it's not. It really is not. And, and I think that again, when they really understand, that they can receive it and not chase it, that's a game changer for Tauruses. Because they always like to chase things for some reason. And instead of just they have to think that it's like, it's right here. It's right there. It's been here all along. What are you chasing? You keep. And so I think that's going to slip into gear for Tauruses too. And yeah, definitely the result for that was a financial increase too for a lot of them too. They're like, I'm starting to see the luxury too come through because of my values increase. So I'm gaining that value when it comes to financial, worth. And so, yeah, it's good. So we'll move on quickly because I know we have a lot more to get to, which is Gemini. I'll let you go first with the gems.
All right, for Gemini, I have the 9 of Water, the 7 of Air, and the Oracle card is Addictions, which, don't worry, I read intuitively, not literally. Yes. So we'll pull this through. Although I will say, a lot of this energy for Geminis that I've been seeing for you guys all year, and I'm seeing going forward in 2026, is you are breaking away from these old ways of doing things. A lot of you have been told how things should be, and you've been in a position where you're like, do I really want to fight my family over this? Do I really want to fight my boss over this? Do I really want to like get in a position where I have to be very strategic? But, you know, Scott and I have our good friend Chris Reck at Mental Tarot. He taught me a lot of tarot readers will say 7 of air is like lying, cheating, stealing. He talks about it being a card of tactics. And even in this card, the person is stealing things while the other person is asleep. It's instead of going to battle, they're being tactical. Right. So what I see for Geminis is you are finally doing things the way you want in 2026, but you're being very tactical about it. And your friends and family are probably not your audience. So if you're wanting to start a podcast, a YouTube channel, write a book, whatever, your audience is somewhere else. So be tactical about finding who that is, because I really do see your wishes coming true. And I really do feel that like this card of addictions, reactive behaviors, reclaiming your power, it's the reclaiming your power part that you're doing in 2026. You're not going to tell me how I should act, how I should be, how I should work. I'm going to go do it my way, but you're not getting in their face about it. It's kind of like you're keeping your day job and then you're subtly not showing up for that Friday night happy hour because you're working on your book or you're practicing Reiki or you're learning astrology, right? So what are you getting, Scott?
Well, I love that. I mean, again, very, very parallel. And so just a different shade, I would say, right? But so parallel. But I got the Devil card. So this is, to me, really focusing the emphasis on your physical desires. Not everything has to be intellectual. Not everything has to be spiritual either. You can actually focus on your physical needs right now. And I think in 2026, you'll be meeting those physical needs in conjunction to your spiritual needs. And so, and that might mean that, yeah, you want to focus on comfort. Yeah, you want to focus on luxury. Yes, you want to focus on maybe making yourself feel better about yourself. So the physicality, the denseness of getting into gear, the physical conditions, the physical, connections that you have are just as important. And so instead of living in the mind, in the brain, and letting things happen, you're making them come to life. And I always say the Devil card to me is also making things tangible, ideas tangible, your goals tangible, new creative projects tangible. Because with the 3 of Pentacles, next to that, it's all about community. You're going to find your special community. You're going to find your special environment, your unique environment that you've been wanting to expand into or fall into. And that means, like exactly what Devon was saying about finding your audience, that is what the 3 of Pentacles is all about. Because yes, 3 of Pentacles is about like secret, interests, but it's all about coming together too with something unified of an idea. You guys will find this. So whatever niche that you're in with career and work, or you're starting a new project or business, you'll find the right people to do that with. And so with the World card is also, when I get the World card next to 3 of Pentacles in a context like this, it really is saying that you're coming full circle with all your skill sets and talents, and now you're able to express it in a new way and bringing something to the world. And don't take that literally either, guys, when we say to the world that you're like, that means you're celebrity. Even in your communities, you're taking something to the world. Whatever you'd be doing, you realize is making an impact. If it's creative, it's technical, whatever it is. And so, and also with the, sorry guys, the 9 of Cups here, because I wasn't sure if I want to take that card or the card below it, but I'm like, no, I'll just take the cards above it. Because the other card was a mispull. So I'm like, which one do you want, Spirit? It's also saying you have what you need around you. Like you really do have all the tools, all the skill sets already around you to get these things in gear. You guys have to understand this. And whatever tool that you don't have, go and get. Whatever you don't learn, go and learn. And so just adding those additions to the tools on your palette is really kind of always been there for you. But now you're actually using that palette, right? And so this is where the beginnings card with the Oracle cards came about as well. And the sovereignty card, which of course, when it comes to sovereignty, you realize that you are self-sufficient. And your self-sufficiency is actually what's going to allow yourselves to jump forward. And the purity card is just kind of a nice highlight to that self-sufficiency, because it comes, you all know, Geminis, that you come from a place of purity. You come from a pure place. There's nothing negative or evil. Even you might be clumsy in the way you do your relationship sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's coming from a dark, evil place. Understand it's coming from a pure place within, and that'll allow you to boost yourself forward. So the integration of physical desire and spiritual desire is where I feel kind of really uniting in 2026 for Geminis.
I love it. Love my Geminis. Right. They're some of the most charismatic people I know.
Yeah, I know, and I love that you're keeping it short for me too. So next up is you lovely Cancer, the Cancer. So I guess I'll go first with the Cancers here, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Just fix his banner there. Let's see. Let's shuffle for the Cancers. I mean, I really feel a lot. I mean, even before I shuffle the cards, I'm like, I already feel a huge change. The word too with Cancers for me for 2026, the word I heard was identity. So I'm going to, of course, pull cards and see what that comes about. Okay, interesting. Wheel of Fortune, Star card again, interesting, and a little bit of Leo. Okay, let's cover something a bit more too, and then a couple of oracles here. Yeah, so when I was saying identity, so it's not like just a circle of silence right now as I'm shuffling, because I'm finding these cards intriguing the way they're coming out. But the identity, I really guys feel like you guys in 2026, you ladies and gents, wow, I love this too. You guys will find this new version of self, not a version of the past or a suppressed version, a new version, a literal new version. You might say that, hey, I define myself as this, but I'm actually really defining my work in this way, or my personality in this way. And so, but a lot of that redefinition, with the Wheel of Fortune card is like really clearing a karmic cycle. So I love the Wheel of Fortune card because, everyone thinks it's Wheel of Fortune. Like, what am I getting? It's like, no, it's cleaning out karma, completing a karmic cycle. But when you clear out a karmic cycle, there is a reward to that. There are things that do manifest when you close a karmic cycle. And so you guys might start seeing opportunities arise for you, but it might feel like it's not in the scope of what you're thinking. But when you understand it really is this new identity with the Star card, it is about you. It is about this new version of you. You might realize, I didn't take that opportunity last month, but like something's telling me like I need that now. I'm going to go for it. You'll start finding that these manifestations are kind of maybe ahead of your intellect, but let them be the guide to tell you that, yes, this is the direction you are actually going in. The Justice card was interesting how this came out. It seemed kind of left field with the Justice card to me, because I think that has to do with you guys getting your fair share. I think it has a lot to do with this. And also, you might have feel like you've been done wrong by people in your life, or done wrong in circumstances in your life. And so I think that from your past, you start recognizing that's brought to you this new cycle, the injustices that you've had, and then you're finding the balance. But also the Justice card to me is also being very, very firm in what you're doing, and very firm in the decision you're going. Because the Strength card next to it's kind of saying it is emotional. This Justice card is talking about, having more of that compassion. And that's a very Leo energy, the Strength card to me. So it's also about loyalty and finding people around you who really are loyal with your new identity now. Because the people who are loyal, that you're loyal to, who are loyal to, also loyal to in return with that old identity, may not match this new identity. And so you'll have to be very introspective of this. And with the Six of Swords coming after that was the final card they told me to pull. That's also a movement card. And so in conjunction to the way these cards unfold, that's really about taking the high road for you and understanding I'm doing what I know is best for me now. I'm not letting anyone hold me back. And I am taking that, I am going offshore now and barking on new territory. So there's going to be a lot of that oomph, that determination that manifests with this new identity, this new role, which will also manifest, as you said before, into those physical expressions. And so the action card means that you will be in action. And with the will card, it's saying it's your will, not maybe somebody else's will because of like, I'm doing it because maybe they wanted me to do it for them. Not their will, your will now for a change, Cancers. And so, and therefore you recognize that that'll also bring almost like the full circle of the people that will actually end up supporting you in the long run too. So, a lot of interesting shifts for Cancers. What do you got for yourself, Devon?
For myself and for all my fellow Cancers out there, I have the 3 of Fire. I have the 10 of Earth. We Cancers love that. And I have the self-doubt card, which is where I'm going to start. So I know, because Cancers, we love people, we love them thoroughly, and we're very, very loyal. So what I have found is our hardest thing is, even if we haven't talked to somebody in 20 years, we have this level of loyalty to them in whatever circumstance circumstances caused us to leave them behind. And when we go strike out on doing something different, which I really feel like we've been asked to do a lot, Cancers, we've got Jupiter in our sign right now. We've got this grand water trine with the sun in Scorpio, Neptune and Saturn back in Pisces. Let's see, I think Mercury moved on, but we still have Mars in Scorpio. It's huge energy for you to start your collaboration, start your community with this 3 of fire here. It is time to finally get rid of your self-doubt over, am I going to get dumped? Am I going to get left behind? Is this going to turn out the way it's always turned out? And I feel like, and I'm not calling you out, but I'm calling you out because I'm a Cancer sun sign. It's like, yes, exactly. We know what we like, and we do well with earth energy, right? We do really well with Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus energy. This full moon coming up in Taurus. Think about the things that you have held onto for so long that are causing this self-doubt. If you can do the work right now to let go of that and just trust the moment, 2026 is going to be a new horizon. And I'm actually feeling this for all 12 signs as far as it's weird. Scott, I would love to do this and look back at these readings at some time in the future, because I really think we're going to be shocked at the way the world looks after 2026. But there's these, everybody has these little opportunities here, and there's these little golden coins waiting to be picked up. I'm a kid of the 80s when I played Super Mario Brothers. That was the best thing, to jump on all the little coins. So come on, we have this opportunity to let go of some of this stuff that don't tell me you let go of it, Cancer, because I'm a Cancer sun sign too. Come on, you're talking to me. Let's let go of these things from the past where this self-doubt starts to creep up and say, oh, it's going to be that way again. Because the sky's the limit with the security you can build for yourself, Cancers, if you will do the work to just, I don't remember what sign we said water under the bridge for, but it feels like another water under the bridge moment.
Right? I mean, at the same card, as before. So, if I had to summarize it, it's like really you're going to have a new identity. I tell you, you're going to feel like your identity has shifted into something new, and you're like, I get it. That's what I've been trying to create all along. And so it's
exciting.
Wonderful because to me, the word identity, I think people have a different definition of that. To me, it's like I would say new essence. If we think in the spiritual sense of your identity, you have a new essence now. And so everything you were saying, wrap that up. That's your new essence. So, all right. Next we have, it's funny, we had a Leo card with you with the read of Cancers, and we went on to Leo. So did who went first last time? Was it me or was it you?
You did. Okay. So do you want me to go or?
Yeah, you can go first with Leo.
Well, oh my gosh. So I got the Lovers card for Leo. You guys have been cracking me up this year, okay?
Oh my God, yes.
Every reading I've gotten for Leos, it's like Leo rising, major planets in Leo, whoever, I always say you should listen to all 12 signs no matter what, because you have all 12 signs in your chart. So you guys go pull your chart, and wherever you have Leo, this Lovers card is what I'm seeing for Leos constantly. I also have this 4 of Fire card, and I have this Archangel Raphael, love, healing, miracles. Again, love. Well, of course, you are such lovers. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and you really need to feel the warm love of others. And when you don't get it, it can be very painful, more so than a lot of other signs if you're heavy there. But I've seen you guys finally step out of that being insecure. You've tried things again. That's what I'm seeing. And I know that the Lovers card, some people say it's like going back to an ex. It's not necessarily that you guys are going back to something you've already done, like an ex-boss or an ex lover or an ex-best friend. It's more that you're reflecting on that and going, you know what? I'm still a good person. I'm still lovable. And so I'm not going to let that keep me from finding a new relationship. So this 4 of Fire card here it's really like you're finally letting yourself love again in that big Leo way that you're so known for, that people love, that people want to see. Like, you teach us how to love. And so this Archangel Raphael card is like, some of the best healing you're going to do for yourself, Leo, is just go love like you've never loved before. I mean, not that we wouldn't have our boundaries and be careful and all the things, but it's like you're trying things again, and this time you don't care. You're putting your whole heart. You're like, if they're going to step on my heart, they're going to step on my heart. And it goes back to what you said, Scott, about everything challenge is an up leveling. It's like you're like, fine. If that happens again, I'm going to learn and I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it even bigger. So I see really exciting things for relationships for Leos. This doesn't have to be romantic. It can be like collaborations. It can be a relationship to your passion projects, to your work. If you're retired, this could be like a whole new idea for your legacy. But Leos, I see really exciting things coming in for you. And remember, Pluto is opposing your sign with it being in Aquarius, which when you have something that powerful opposite your sign, I went through my Pluto opposition because I'm a Cap rising Cancer sun. It transforms things one way or another. And the best thing you can do is see it as an up leveling. Totally embrace the change. So I totally agree with you, Scott, on that. So what are you getting for the Leos?
Well, yeah, I mean, Two of Cups, it's all about partnership, baby. So yes, I think there's going to be, and I think because I love that Spirit kind of threw that out instead of giving the Lovers card in conjunction, because there's different levels of partnerships. And I feel like even with business partnerships, find a new dimension to them. Your relationships find a new dimension to them, and really understanding what partnership means. Not so much partnerships between you and a group of people, you and a whole bunch of people, you between one person at a time. And so there's going to be that uniqueness. Mm-hmm. So yes, that realization, conscious realization, could manifest into the love of your lives. You really finding your true match in that sense, or your true partnership, your true best friend. All that partnership is included when it comes to next year in 2026. And next to that is a Two of Wands. I get the Two of Wands. I've gotten the Two of Wands a lot with a lot of Leos this year, because I feel like they're going to be breaking the third wall in their lives of what they feel like they deserve. Not so much love and money. That's it. They can break that wall. Like, I need my love for me too. Like, I also need to express it as well, and I need community. They're going to break that barrier of what was between the two pillars that they've deemed that they needed in life, was success, love, and success. There's more to it than that. So they're going to find more dimensionality and more beyond what they could do to express that energy with new partnerships. And you got the Lovers card. This is also the Ten of Cups too, which is all about that completeness and happiness and fulfillment. So that doesn't mean everything comes to a close or comes to an end, but that means that you might finally find a relationship that feels like home. You might find a relationship that finds in sync to you. You might find that expression that really kind of gives you that nourishing that you've always needed in life. And it's not coming from the attention of others, coming from the actual doing of it, the actual participation of these things. And so you won't be basing your value and happiness based on whether or not somebody else approved of it or not. You'll be like, I approve, that's all I need. I'm content. And so the Magician card here is reminding you that you're still a doer. You're still the magician, but that doesn't mean you have to get the spotlight for it too. Many magicians work behind the scenes. And so I think a lot of your essences of 2026 will be a supportive role, but that means when you're a supportive role, you're actually appreciated by the most dominant people, the most assertive people that you might have been wanting that attention from all along. So playing that back, see, will really reflect to you the duality of your power. And it's funny that the Star card also came in with the Leos as well, which is saying that with the Star card in conjunction means that you really truly understand what it's like to be a star in the supporting aspect of things and how to shine by being a supportive role. And so that's where love happens. That's where these relationships happen. That's your growth. That is, as the Oracle card says here with growth, that's your personal growth, because you've learned to surrender, right? Surrender to the unexpected. Leos are not good at the unexpected. They're not good at with the unknown. Leos are kind of like need to kind of micromanage what's happening next. And so in this case, you'll surrender to all that and understand that the little bit of mystery can go a long way. You're good at creating the mystery, but you're not good at living the mystery. You'll be good at living the mystery moving forward. And so that's where you're going to find that great expansion. And it's in that mystery you find all the things you've been looking for all along. So it's a great year for Leos. But I would advise certain Leos, don't struggle with this. Like, let go of the struggle. Okay, like, don't be in that struggle anymore. So this way, this can all come into a fluid avenue. All right, so closing up with Leos, moving on to Virgos, and I guess I'll go first with that because I'm Virgo rising. That's kind of interesting that I would go first. I'm a Virgo rising, and I have to honor these cards that flip out here. So when they like jump out like that, okay. Ooh. Oh, Virgos. Okay, just a shuffling here. And what I feel with Virgos too, because I feel like 2025, they've been using their voices more, right? They've been speaking up more and being heard more. So I'm curious to see how that's going to unfold in the read, because I feel like Virgos have always somewhat been misunderstood to a certain degree, or not listened to. So let me just see. I'm still shuffling. Virgos, you guys need to make up your mind too, because these cards are not making up their minds. So, are you feeling anything as I'm shuffling too, Devon? That just off the bat without any cards?
Yeah. I mean, your Virgos are definitely misunderstood. I'm surrounded by Virgos, and I have Saturn in my North Node conjunct in Virgo. So yeah, no, they're definitely misunderstood. So
okay, so I'm going to go with these cards because they were like pulling teeth. But I feel like that's the energy of Virgos now. Like it's kind of Virgos piss or get off the pot right now. Okay, I have to say it currently, and Noelle must be listening to this because she's got Virgo and she's just throwing my cards around. Noelle, thanks.
I see her in the chat.
Because every time she got some Virgo, she's screwing up my cards left and right, and I know it's her. And because remember when she popped the card out in the beginning, she popped out the same card that fell out in the beginning. So. Okay, you guys for Virgos got the Lovers card, so very similar to Leo's next year. I really feel like there is going to be the sense of love, at least the desire for relationships and connection. But also, love is also about finding your true love within too, your true passion. So a lot of Virgos may have been just kind of thinking it through. Of course, as we know, I'm Virgo rising, we overthink things. But I think you'll understand what your true passions are too. You'll actually follow that true love because you've been using your voice, and now you're starting to hear your voice now more so within, so you're not having to talk too much to people anymore. So I find there's been a reservation of trying to guide others because you're starting to hear your own voice now. And so, which is interesting that it's so random that the Ace of Pentacles came out too. So I'm trying to like really read why the Lovers card. So perhaps it has to do a lot about, your physical desires too. Because when I got those cards, the Devil card kind of flashed through during the process. So it might be similar to what we were saying to another sign before, which I forget, about focusing on your physical desires, like allowing yourself to want those physical things now. It doesn't have to be over analytical. It doesn't have to be over processing. Why do I need these things? Hey, if you want a new car, get the new car. If you want the new relationship, get the relationship. If you want the house that you want, get the house that you want, because there is that balance. You got to find the balance of what that means and what can come in, what can come out. And so not so much saying that, well, I have to have this because my family wants me to have this, and so therefore you're making everybody else happy in that sense. No, you're saying I'm finding my own balance of what I need in and what I need out. And so the Ace of Wands too, I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. Some people listen to me at one time because they want to hear it faster. But the Ace of Wands says there will be a strike of creativity somewhere that's going to take your ideas and put it into manifestation. It's going to somehow take everything that's been bottled up and express it somewhere in a very productive way. So there's going to be a lot of birthing of new ideas, a lot of birthing of what you could do to express yourselves. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a career. It could also be a hobby or something new that you're participating in that you feel like you actually are heard, but also experiencing the joys of other voices too that align with your voices. And, the Ten of Swords, came in the reverse position, which means that you always run into a wall with things feeling defeated. And I feel like that wall gets broken through. You no longer feel like you're defeated before you say something to somebody. You're feeling an integration. And that's where, again, the patience was coming in, with the oracle cards and the fruition. So the fruition is really much kind of aligning with what I was saying before about breaking that wall down, and allowing yourselves to like be in the essence of what you're thinking, not so much just thinking it, but actually being around it too. That other people can share the same vibe too as you, and allowing yourselves to stop isolating. So, but yeah, before 2026, we're saying piss or get off the pot. So all this comes into fruition. So thanks, Noelle, for really making this very scattered, these cards. What do you have? Can you help bring this together, Devon?
Yeah. Well, I just say that I think a lot of Virgos have felt really burned out lately, and they felt like they've kind of hit hit a wall or hit the end of the rope with certain things. Things have been very frustrating. Things have been very tedious. And it's also felt like, you guys had those powerful eclipses in Virgo this year back in the spring. And then we just had one right before the fall equinox, whenever that was, August or September. Woo! I mean, I saw it affect every single Virgo I know, no matter what age they were. My youngest is a Virgo. Yeah, you too, and many of my friends, family members, and even clients. So, there is this sense of, well, I guess I was on the wrong path. I guess I was overeager, or I guess I was too into that. This renewal card that I'm getting for you guys, it comes with the Knight of Water. Okay. And this particular Knight of Water card says emotional, dramatic, romantic. And then we have relationship repeat. I am seeing that, kind of like with the Cancers, which is funny. It's like, you guys are like, been there, done that, not doing it again. I know what you're doing. I know what you're saying to me. I'm not repeating this again. And it almost feels like you're wanting to just throw the baby out with the bathwater, which I always say on my channel. I'm like, I hate that saying, but I haven't found one that makes as much sense. Right. I don't like the saying, but I'm like, please don't throw the baby out, period. Like, no. But like, it's like, but it is that feeling. Like, I feel like Virgos, you work so hard on things, and you notice all the details, and you notice things that nobody else knows. And don't forget, you guys are here to heal the planet. You guys are who we look to heal things. Like, every time I've got a little scrape on my elbow, I call a Virgo. What do I do? What's the latest thing? And the Virgos are like, well, let me send you this podcast and let me tell you about this new treatment. And blah. And I'm like, okay, tell me, and I feel like it's been a little bit like a burnout thing for you guys. And that could be with anything. Like, I know so many Virgos that are great with relationship counseling, with, career counseling, with anything. And I feel like you guys right now are like, I'm not doing this again. But I actually think next year there's going to be this little kernel of oh, wait a minute. I still have that desire in me to do this thing, but you're going to see a different way to do it. It's going to be okay, something the world hasn't seen, or something that you would have never dared share with the people who surround yourself with. And now you're watch me do it this way, So I'm really excited for Virgos for 2026. And I think that, just don't totally give up. It's okay to feel burned out and be like, I'm not listening to that anymore. I'm not talking about that anymore. Take the rest of 2025 to shut that stuff out. Yep. But just be open. If you have a dream, if you're having a bunch of angel numbers or synchronicities between now and start of 2026, it's trying to get you to just not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
It's the best thing you can say, right? That's the only thing.
If anybody in the comments knows a better version of that,
please, yes,
please do. But Scott, what are you getting for the Virgos? Oh, you did the Virgos. We're moving on to the Libras.
We're moving on.
Yeah, but
I would say don't throw the rubber ducky out with the bathwater. Is that better?
That is better.
That's the best thing I could go with.
Much better.
Being a Virgo rising, September was rough for me. Rough for me. Everything was depleted in September for me. It's just everything was took a halt, and I was like, oh my god, and I got sick for with a bad sinus infection. So but it was very much, that's where I changed a lot. I went through, okay, this is what I'm doing. We're going to do it this way. I'm going to do this. I changed so much that month because I took the calling, and I'm so thankful that I'm in this new trajectory just because of that heavy month. So, great changes I made. Okay, for Libras, and I was pre-pulling, so we didn't have to have any type of delays and waiting. Libras. Got the Hermit card here. Now, the Hermit card isn't necessarily so much about isolation. It is about, it isn't about everybody else. It's about you Again, there's gonna be some repetitive messages across the signs here, but it's what you should be focusing on. It is about you. It is about understanding that you should be doing from the soul of you and the desires that you have, not because of somebody else or what you need to do to make things better for everybody else. It's not for, anybody but you initially. And so even if you're a parent, if you're a mom or a dad, the fact is you initially wanted to be a mom or a dad. Maybe 99% of you wanted to be a mom or dad. That was your passion. So remember, you're being a parent for you too. So it's not all about just the family. It's not all just about the husband. It's not all about just the kids either. You wanted this. This is your passion. Reminding yourself of this. This will come to head in 2026. So with the Four of Wands, it is about making commitments and so solidifying things. But the Four of Wands is my home card. I know it could be marriage. I know it could be, but that's always my home and real estate card. That's what I always define it to be in my polls. And so for me, you might actually start focusing on a new home or building a new home or just redoing your home or actually moving and saying, I need a new home. And it's not so much about a house. It's about the home. Because many people want a house, but some people want a home, and you're looking for a home. And so you're going to find ways to really personalize that with yourselves and find the balance within you to express that within your home life. So if you want to get a new house, you want to build a house, you buy a new home, it's coming. You want to move, it's coming too. That's 2026 for a lot of Libras. And the Tower in Reverse card. We all know, everyone sees a Tower card and everyone panics about that. But the reverse card is kind of still changed and things breaking down, but more in a less abrupt fashion. So yes, certain relationships may abruptly end, certain things may abruptly end, or certain things might show that they're coming to an end. But that's because you're no longer in the same essence that you were before with that. And especially with the Six of Cups coming out, they're saying that that's because the past is still permeating within you right now, Libras. But at the same time, like you want to take the roots of your past that brings the benefits of who you were on the wonderful foundation when you were a child, the assertion, the inspiration, the excitement. That's the past you want to bring, and breaking down the past that you defined in a negative sense. You don't have to take that anymore. You have to say, well, this happened and this happened, so I'm dealing with both. It's like you don't have to. You can bring the one goodness and the roots of your past and to bring that transformation. So the Death card is all about transformation in this case, because this is not a physical read. So you will feel that transformative energy of like, I am a Libra, damn it, and I am balanced, but I've really kind of been too much like this all the time. And so now I'm just able to find really the true essence of what that balance is. And that's the release with my Oracle card, with the release card. Notice that the focus is off and it's reversed. And the hunger, because I really feel like, guys, you Libras haven't really felt that hunger for something for themselves in a long time. It's kind of been like just strategic and analyzing and micromanaging. Like that's gone. That's the death. You're killing that version. And so now it's about your internal hunger releasing, and you'll see that's the balance I bring to myself that's demonstrated for other people as well. But it's going to start with home. You're going to feel that desire to personalize and find your sanctuary, your own foundation. So again, how can that manifest in career? That can mean that, career, I feel more stability with career. And so not so much changes so much with career, but more stability and also, consistencies in that regard with your survival needs will be met. But that's because you need the space to be able to find more luxury, find more comfort in that sense. So Devon, what do you got?
Oh, okay. Well, first I have to give a shout out to Iggy. Hey, Iggy. He was giving us some options here. He said, how about preserve what works, fix what doesn't? Keep the core, remove the clutter, separate the wheat from the chaff. I love all three of those, Iggy. So yeah, those are much better than throw the baby out with the bathwater. In case you're tuning in, that's what we're looking for.
That's true, because it's funny because I'm surprised to see something so clean and so G-rated coming from Iggy. Usually they're very R-rated.
All right, well, take a screenshot, everybody. We've got 3 new sayings we can use instead of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Yes, all right. I'll have to remember that. Thank you, Iggy. For the Libras, I got this 6 of fire here, and I love this card for you guys because you guys had this huge transit with the nodes in your sign before they moved into Pisces and Virgo, and it felt like for Libras, it was like, when is it my turn? When is it my turn? Like, that's what I felt like for Libras. I felt so bad for you guys because it felt like it's like every time you turned around, there was something squaring your sign or you were dealing with all these things. And you guys were like, can I please be recognized for my hard work? Well, here it comes, okay? It's coming. It really is coming. I do have the strength card here, courage, compassion, and perseverance. And that's what's really standing out for me is because you kept going, Libras, because you haven't given up on these things that you want for yourself, you are going to get them. But it's just going to look a little different than you thought. And this is actually for all 12 signs for 2026, but I really am hearing this specifically for Libras because you are the card of balance. You are the card of seeing both sides. There's a third, fourth, or fifth way that things can look besides what you're looking at. You're looking at one side or the other. And there's actually like all these other ways something can look. And what I am getting for Libras, and here we have Archangel Haniel, joy, gratitude, and intuition. If you will just follow your intuition towards the thing you want, you will find out it's going to look better than you ever imagined. And it reminds me of when I was doing a lot of my spiritual training to become a professional. So, just like Scott, I was born an intuitive, but what did I do? What do you do with this? Right? Like, it's like people go spend all this money to get these huge, expensive degrees, but people won't invest. A lot of people won't invest in classes to actually hone their intuition when that's what we should all be doing. But I did. I finally found a mentor that worked well with me, and she would say, Devon, why do you think you know better than your spiritual team about how that should look? And I was like, oh, okay, you got me. I'm like, yeah. But I am kind of hearing that too for Libras, just because you are so used to seeing things. Like, it's not a criticism. It's just like you are able to see both sides. But think about what would your third eye show you? What's your intuition showing you? Like, just follow the tiny little intuitive nudges and try not to picture the complete outcome. Like, if we're going to use the example of what is it like to have a baby, my favorite movie is Under the Tuscan Sun with Diane Lane. And she's like, I want a family in this house. I want a baby in this house. And I'm not going to ruin the movie. Go watch it. It's totally worth it. Grab a glass of wine and some pasta and watch it. It's amazing. But at the end, she gets everything she wants, but it looks differently than what she thought it would look like. And that's what I'm saying for Libras. You'll still get what you want. So just keep going. And if you've thought about, kind of like with the Virgos, if you kind of thought about, let me say, if you thought about separating the wheat from the chaff, like Iggy says, then I think we need to just be careful that you're paying attention to what you're doing and you're not throwing out too much. All right. So that was it for Libras, right? You did Libras first. So yeah, we're done with Libras. I'm excited for you guys. I'm really excited.
I'm glad you reminded me because I got lost for a minute. Yeah, we're on Scorpios. Oh, I didn't move that Scorpio. There he goes. Okay.
Happy birthday, Scorpio.
Happy birthday, Scorpios. Okay, I just got to shuffle some oracles. My mom sends a message. She's like, your shuffling's pretty loud. I'm like, oh shit. I didn't realize that this microphone
mine
was...
probably is too.
Because I keep pounding it. Okay. It's interesting because Scorpios for 2026, I was kind of laughing because this came out once and I said, nah, let me just reshuffle it twice. And this came out this exact way the third time, which is the 3 of Wands and then the 4 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands in this position says, you guys have been feeling, Scorpios have been feeling for quite some time. They have things that make them happy, but they're missing something. Something's missing. And so I think moving into 2026, they're going to understand what that something missing really is. And I was going to say was because they realize they've been desiring that for a long time. And it feels like more about committal relationships and more into relationships. They're going to feel like that's been a missing piece in my life. The relationships, the long term, the commitment, the passion, right? The companionship is missing. And so, but my probably occur in the first, I would say quarter. I was going to say quarter, but maybe the first few months of 2026, there will be some resurrection of heartache. There will be some resurrection of things that are unresolved, that are maybe karmic relationships or even past traumas when it comes to certain relationships that you've been kind of close yourself off to that you didn't resolve. So a lot of that might come out in January, February for Scorpios, actually. But I feel like you're going to say, yep, I know it. Yep, I know I've been putting that on the rug. Yep, I get it. What am I going to do with it? You're going to feel determination, though. It's not going to be like you're reveling in it, because I don't think Scorpios is the type that's going to revel in it. You're going to feel like, let's fucking get this, excuse my French, for the Devon Duerr viewers. Let's get this, because my viewers are dirty, and they don't care. But let's get this on board. Let's get this going. I'm tired of carrying this. So you're going to feel this determination of letting go of this emotional, it's a heart. 3 of Swords is a heartache, for me. And it comes in so many of different fashions. And it's interesting the Three of Pentacles also comes in conjunction, because I think you might find a group of people that either support you in this new change, they're also on the same wavelength. So there's a huge shift of coming from being so independent into actually having a great sense of community, actually. So, and there's been a lot of other signs that are finding new communities too in their own way. So this is definitely for you as well, Scorpio, and also the Two of Cups, which again came out for a few other signs as well, was all about partnership. And so I really feel, in conjunction to everything we just stated, when you let go of the heartache, you let go of that deprivation, the love deprivation. A lot of these Scorpios that feel love deprived, that comes in with that shift. Because I like that that's on the other pillar of my spread here. So yes, you will feel that partnership. You won't feel alone. You'll feel like, you know what? I have what I need. And that's the missing piece all along. And as I say that too, the peace card comes, the oracle card comes as well, and you will find that peace. Let's not overly cliche, make peace overly cliche. Peace means settled. Peace doesn't mean like, la, la, la. That's not necessarily peace. Peace means you feel like you're cool where things are at, and you know where things are going. There's a settled energy. It's a power to this, and you start becoming more faithful. So I think even with Scorpios, they might become more intuitive. They might become more hit in the face with more, spirituality next year, and saying, you know what, you got to be more intuitive. You got to focus more on the faith or the aspects of the soul. So I feel like a lot of Scorpios will have more of a spiritual upgrade next year too. That would also help them to really create what they're wanting and attract what they're wanting to next year as well. So what do you got, Dev?
Well, I've got the life experience card for this deck that is the Tower card for Scorpios. I like the Tower card personally.
Me too.
I have the renewal card here too as well, which goes along with what you were saying. And we have the energetic realm, life between lives. I feel like the Scorpios, and right now, I mean, we're starting right now because we're in your birthday season.
Yeah.
But if you fast forward to a year from now, next year, you're already starting to realize the things you don't want for your next birthday. Like you're like, by next year, I want to be done with these things. I want to be done with this thought process. I want to be done with this job. I want to be done with this relationship dynamic, or I want to be done with feeling insecure. Like you said, Scott, it's like, I want to finally feel like I'm in that committed thing. A lot of your work, Scorpio, is going to come from taking advantage of this grand water trine that we're in right now. Neptune doing its last run in Pisces for a very long time before it goes into Aries for good for a long time. So I want to see you guys doing your spiritual work. You're really good at doing things for others and being really like devoted to helping them. Like you will do things even when they don't ask, like you'll just show up and be like, I've got you. Now is your invitation to not do that so much. Not that we don't need that. Not that we don't love you, Scorpios, for doing that, for the way that you support everybody and the way that you love so deeply and you're so devoted and you're like, I know I can help you, This is your time right now to say, actually, I'm going to do all the work on me, and that's eventually going to help you. And that is really, obviously that's like the spiritual way. The best way to help the world is to go within and help your inner world first, right? Work on that and you'll help everybody. But for Scorpio specifically, like I want you guys to make it a priority to ask your intuition first before you look up the answer online, before you go with what's always worked, before you ask somebody else what they think. Because you guys have the ability to just really break down some old dynamics. And that's what I feel like I see with this Tower card here for Scorpios, is if you will do the hard work, which you're willing to. That's the other thing about Scorpios, is you're willing to go deep. There's so many people that are not willing to go deep. Please take advantage of this energy right now and in 2026 to go deep into your deep spiritual purpose. Expand your practice. If you're already doing things every day like journaling or meditating, add one more thing. It can be 1 more minute. It can be like 1 more minute of breath work or like looking at your astrology chart. Please. This is good for everybody, but I just cannot express enough how much we are going to need that Scorpio energy to do that, because people are coming online with their intuitive abilities and they got to have somebody who's willing to go do the shadow work, do the deeper dive. And they're going to need you, Scorpios, who's already like, I'm not afraid. I'll go with you. which you already are willing to do that, but first you got to do it for yourself. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm excited for you guys, and just please know your power, Scorpios. Please, please honor it. Yeah,
that's right, and that all that comes from the heart, and just it regenerates the heart consciousness. And so I feel like that's why I felt attraction with love and committal energy in relationships. So yeah, it's wonderful. All right, moving on to Sag. Sab, we got 4 more to go. Let's see if we can get these in by 7:30, so we get into the live readings. We don't keep us all night. And guys, those who are watching, pick what resonates with you too, even though it's not your sign, because you might have a certain, some of these signs in one of your houses, or it's part of your chart. So if it resonates, take it with you as the guidance as well. Absolutely. Because we all have a mixture of things. We could say, I'm Aquarius or Virgo rising, but also Gemini moon, and I have all these other planets and other things. And so, like how I explain that, Devon, planets and other things, that sounds so professional with astrology, don't I?
It makes sense. The bottom line is we all have all signs. So if you get angel bumps, or you're like, that sounds like it's for me, then it's for you. I love it. Yeah.
All right, so we got wonderful Sag. Sag, the first card I got for you is Judgment. Now, to me, this isn't about like what you think judgment may be. To me, judgment is more of a spiritual awakening, and it's also you actually making the call for yourself of what you're now going to finally do, instead of kind of being a little airy about things. I'm kind of going here, I'm kind of going here, I don't know, and just like, I think I'm going to do this. Like, you're going to finally make a decision, and I feel like that decision turns into determination. It's interesting. The 4 of Wands keeps popping out, Devon, and I keep throwing it back in and shuffling again, and I'm like, maybe it just needs a better shuffling. It keeps coming out again. So, but the 4 of Wands with Sag is about grounding. I really feel 2026 will be very grounding for Sagittarius, because that grounding nature could again be with a new home, maybe a move, or actually a relationship or marriage. You're grounding yourself. So there's so many different avenues and dynamics you can say grounding to be. But within that grounding, it's interesting that we got the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Right. So for me, with the 10 of Pentacles, it's all about like financial reward, but I really feel like you're putting the emphasis into what you created for yourself and turning into something more financially too, and using your financial investments to really benefit and live the life you want to live. Why are you hoarding all that money? What are you hoarding for? Like, do something with it, And so, you'll be practical in the ways you haven't been, and impractical ways maybe been too practical on. So you're going to find a little bit of flip-flopping on that. And so you might end up splurging for the things that you need next year, because you've had the finances to do so. And if you have not, then you'll start realizing you have the finances to do so. And, especially with the 6 of Pentacles right after that as well, because that's why I was kind of like, wow, with these cards pulling out after each other, that's all about generosity, and also with the finances as well. But the generosity card means that when I ask Spirit, is that you the generous person or generous people for you? I feel like it's both. You experience the true generosity of those who are supporting you and giving to you and understanding what that's like, and doing the same in return. A lot of these Sagittarius might decide they want to do charity work, or maybe work for a nonprofit, or do something with nonprofit. There'll be a lot of that I want to be generous energy to also bring a foundation and grounding to others too. And so then, the cards just kept flopping out. So I'm just trying to speed read. That's why I'm talking fast. Is the Fool card with the Lovers card. So it definitely is a new beginning. This is going to be a new change, a new beginning for a lot of you guys. You're going to feel like you're on a new trajectory, new paradigm, new reality, whatever you want to call it. You're going to feel this. And that also might bring in finally some solidification of real love, real relationships. So might be new relationships coming toward the end of 2026 for a lot of you Sagittarius as well. So, and really quickly, the Hunger card came about, and the Assessing card in the Oracle sense, in the Oracle card. So you guys will also feel the hunger for something new. You guys will also feel like you're looking ahead now and being more insightful, more intuitive now versus practical. And so, not that Sagittarius are always practical, but you've maybe hit a practical stint. We all could be practical or intuitive. You might be looking deeper for things that have a deeper meaning for you. And I think that's going to bring a lot more solidification in the different dynamics of love, career, finances, and all that great stuff. But it seems to be a lot of like financial abundance for Sagittarius too. Devon?
I love it. Yeah. Well, you kept talking about grounded. I have this Knight of Earth card here, which is the only knight that isn't moving. This very much about buckling down and getting things done, feeling the earth under your feet. Sagittarius love to travel. They love to do go. They'll volunteer for things before they even realize what they're volunteering for, right? But I also have an 8 of Earth card here, and I have, am I freezing for a second? Maybe it might have been.
It did. It did, yeah.
Okay, yeah. The 8 of Earth card and the Archangel. This is a new deck. I don't know this angel. But it says optimism and hope. And it's like, it's talking a lot about finally directing all your skills into one thing, which means sitting down at your desk and making a plan. Now, that doesn't have to be literal, but I have seen this with so many Sages, changing jobs or changing where they want to be, like you said, moving even, or kicking the can down the road on things they want to do, but they're like, well, first this has to happen or that has to happen, and then I'll do it. And I feel like this is the year where you're finally doing it. You're finally taking all your knowledge and all your skills and you're funneling it into something really productive. And you're going to see that it's going to be the kind of like Energizer Bunny is where I'm going, like self-generating. You know what I'm talking about, like where you charge your own battery, right? In human design, generators, they like recharge themselves. Like if they respond to something, they like get charged up because they're responding, and they're like the Energizer Bunny. That's what I'm seeing for these Sages for 2026, but it's something that you really want to do, that you kind of, in a way, it's like you've dabbled. That's what I feel like. You've like told a few people here and there, yeah, you know, I'm an astrologer, or I do human design, or I do Reiki. And they're like, oh, really? Can I get a session? Oh, well, no, I've got this and this and this and this and this. And, you know, apply it to you, Sag. But like, there's something that you want to do and you're good at and people would pay you to do, or they would like want to learn from you. Like if you're retired, it's a legacy, right? But there's something, because you said volunteer too, Scott. Like I think, you know, Sages are good at so many things. But please pick the thing that gets you up out of bed in the morning and charges you up. And that's what I'm seeing for Sagittarius, is like you're finally doing that, like buckling down and getting it done. And as we said at the beginning of the live, we're all being asked to cut away things from our schedule that are draining, that we don't want in our lives anymore, especially when it comes to material. So everyone thinks of Taurus like money and materialism, right? But that's energy. Everything is energy. So it could also be your time that you need to take back. And I feel like for Sagittarius, maybe you're taking your time back and you're really focusing it where you want to work. So that's what I get for Sagittarius. I can't wait to see what you guys do in 2026.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right. We'll go with Capricorn. I guess I'll go first because I've been pulling cards. I guess
that's my rising sign. You should go first.
Yeah, because we're past the time I wanted to be done. So we have 3 more of the 12 signs. So with Capricorn, I pulled a lot of cards because they couldn't stop, and so I'm gonna have to combine these together. But again, I'm just gonna say too, the 4 of Wands came out again. I threw it in 3 times. It keeps flopping out, and it's the Star card. You see me shuffle. I'm like, okay, again. So I'm just like, I throw it back in. I'm like, if you're supposed to come out, because I'm thinking, you know, it keeps coming out. But I'm going to find it in different contexts of like why this keeps coming out. But clearly it's about grounding and focusing on you being the center of attention, Capricorns, because I feel like you guys have not been allowing yourselves to be the center of attention. Oh, I'm too humble. Oh, I don't need that spotlight. Oh, I don't know if I deserve that. That's gone with the Tower card. No more thinking that you don't deserve it. No more saying like, I don't deserve the attention. I'm being humble and modest. Nope. What is modesty anyways? Can't you be powerful and still be modest with your power and say, yeah, this is great. I'm great with this. I'm showcasing this, but I'm also very modest about how I'm receiving people's kindness and their love. And so that's what really it is. And so the 10 of Swords to me is saying you're really going to kick a bad habit. You're really going to kick a bad habit. If you're preventing yourself from healing, that's gone. If you're preventing yourself from being successful, that's gone. All these bad habits that have been holding you back, gone. You're defeated now. And I love that the 3 of Cups came shortly after this, you know, and saying that it is time for you to start celebrating now. Celebrating what you can do, what you have done, what you're going to do. Giving yourself that attention, girls and guys, right? Capricorns. And, you know, I'm being fast with these cards. I feel like it's more telling a story than actually having to be so specific and spending so much time on the one. But with the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, it's saying you're not holding on anymore. You're not like holding your talents in. You're not like savoring your talents. You're like, I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm going to jump and do that new creation. I'm going to start the new business. I'm going to be the healer. I'm going to be the spokesperson. I'm going to be whatever I'm going to be. I'm going to go for it now. I'm going to be the best at it. And especially with the eight of Pentacles, it's all about your craftsmanship. You'll be focusing on new craftsmanship and what you're doing, what your skill sets are, what you're great at, and focusing on actually doing it. And so it's a wonderful thing, too, with the Seven of Pentacles about your imagination. So, in certain reads, this could be that you're being delusional, but in this case, it's all about your imagination, that you're actually allowing yourself to bring that imagination in. And the King of Pentacles grounds it by saying, you will be practical. You can use your imagination and still be practical. And so you can still be very creative and out there with your thoughts and perspectives and your kindness, and still ground it in and be reasonable with finances and focusing on that you're worth more. Because the King of Pentacles is very much a practicality card, but the lawyer and the accountant and good in finance. And so I feel like you will become those things too in your own lives, and managing your money and understanding you do deserve more financially. Because I feel like a lot of Capricorns, they deprive themselves of what they're worth even financially. And so you'll charge the rate you need to charge and all that wonderful, wonderful stuff. And so it's really time for you guys to shine, Caps, and taking the new journey ahead in the sense of that it is okay to be in the spotlight and to pat yourself on the back for what you know you can do. So it's a huge merging from a cocoon energy for Capricorns for me. And here's the thing about Caps too. They have a lot of wisdom and they don't realize it. They have a lot of wisdom and they have great intellect, but they don't know how to use it. And so they'll probably start realizing, I do have wisdom here. I may have been stupid about it, but I'm actually going to put it into place now. I'm actually going to, go on what I know to be true for myself. So yeah, I think it's going to be a wonderful 2026 for Caps as well, and starting becoming the spotlight. I think a lot of them had recognized that in 2025, but 2026, they will be actually acting it. Okay. So what do you got, Dev?
Yeah, well, very similar energy. I got the Hermit card here, and what I was immediately seeing for this is, Capricorns, it's time for you to come down off the mountain and share your wisdom. Be okay with getting in the spotlight, because I also have this Two of Water card, partnership, commitment, and reconciliation, but it's really more about just trusting that everyone is going to love you for who you are. It's like you're always seen for being practical or doing things by the book or doing things the way that works. And now you're like, well, I actually know a better way, because you did all this work. You guys have been working so hard. You have Pluto in your sign for how long, right? And you did all this work. And so you're like, well, how are people going to see me if I really step out there, if I really put myself out there? And really and truly what it is you're going to be incredibly inspiring to others, because you don't realize the people who watch you in a respectful way, like not in a creepy way. I know we're like on Halloween's Eve here. People who just admire you, they see the way you do things because you're a natural born leader. If you're doing it because I know you're doing it because you've got these amazing abilities, but if you will really step out there, you will be amazed at the people who follow you, because they've been waiting for you to take that move. And I do think that's so true for so many Capricorns I know. Oh, yeah. This Two of Water is, a lot of times people, it's like one-on-one relationships and all that kind of thing. But lead by example, Capricorns, because people are just waiting for you to take that move, to make that move. And so I'm really excited to see Capricorns reap the rewards of all the work they went through with Pluto in their sign. Right? Yeah. So that's what I get. Yeah, it's very true for a lot of Cappies that I know too. I was seeing that, especially my dad's a Capricorn. It's like he just started a new clock. Like, he's so good with his hands. He was a master handyman. He's built homes and decks and all stuff. And he just started creating flower pots. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. I said, why don't you do something and actually create something, and so that you can actually do that's creative. That's not just like fixing people's things. And so he just started he collected watches and stuff. So he started, this new clock business. And it's like, he's
now like so excited about it. He sold his first couple pieces, that were like a couple $1,000, like large to people wanting it. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, now I'm excited. I'm like, you should have been excited before, but Capricorns need the validation that people love them, and then they go forward, So
but people are waiting for them to go forward. And I love that about your dad, because Saturn rules Capricorn and Saturn also rules time. And he's literally selling time with his watches.
Right.
So
that's exactly right.
That is a perfect example of stepping into your power. So congrats,
I'm gonna
Mr.
let you
Cruz.
go
I'm happy for you.
I'm going to let you go first with Aquarius, because that's my sun sign. So you can go hit me first.
Yeah, I agree. You went first for me for my Cancer sign. Okay, so for Aquas for 2026, I have the 3 of Earth. Nice. I have the 5 of Earth. And I have the abandonment card, feelings of unworthiness and rejection. But what's actually coming through for me for Aquas, and I've been following you guys so closely this entire year. You've had so much around relationships and like shifts in relationships and old stuff coming up from the past. And what you're finally recognizing is that you have the ability to shift the narrative way more than you thought you did. And you're going to be finally putting these feelings to rest. That's what I'm getting here is in 2026, you're like, enough is enough. I'm going to follow the thing that I know I want to do, and people will follow you. It's actually, your next door neighbor, your Capricorn sign, is feeling the same way. With this 5 of Earth card, what I'm actually getting here is a lot around. It's funny, what's coming through for me here is around like actual locations of places where you are going to be asked to use your creativity to shift the energy. So Aquarius, where if you sit in a spot in your office where there's a lot of gossip, it's on you to clear that area. You're the one that can do it. Everybody else is too wrapped up in that. If you work for yourself and you feel like you're always getting the client that just becomes a big pain, this is the year where you get the better clients. You're like, I'm done with those clients. It might be a little bit of a pain for my wallet for a little while. I am not taking those clients anymore. You guys are shifting the narrative with your purpose and wherever you are. I do feel this way a little bit with relationships because it's like being willing to have your closest others, whether it's romantic or best friends or whatever, see you for who you really are and love you for all of it, but also being willing to say, I've got to do this. I can't not do this. And so for the big thing that I'm seeing for Aquarius is we all, just like we are looking to Capricorn for certain things, with Aquarius, we're looking to you for the innovative way to do things. And you are taking things higher in any situation, even if it means having to say, I'm not going to have that client anymore. I'm not going to have that friendship anymore. And it's, of course, we're going to be compassionate about it. But, Aqua is like, you guys, you can see something from a higher perspective that other people can't. So we need you to come down here and say, this isn't working. Let's change this. Yep. So you've got some work for you, but it's going to be like a relief for you guys in 2026. All right, that's resonating, Scott.
I'm trying. So I pulled the 7. Pull it up, the 7 of Wands, and so to me, well, I have to put these together. 7 of Wands, Ace of Cups, right? So the Ace of Cups is there's going to be a lot of new creative ideas and fertile energy, I would say, in 2026. And not that it hasn't happened in 2025, but I feel like it's going to be overflowing from you. You can't do anything but to express it. And that's going to bring a lot of public recognition. So I feel like Aquariuses I feel like 2025 is preparing us to be more accepting of being in the spotlight, but I think 2026 nails it. You're going to get that public recognition and you're going to feel that competition. You're definitely going to feel the competition, but we can't fight against that. We can't fight against competition. When we have good competition, slowly telling you how good you are. If you're in with a group of wonderful people, that's a reflection that you're also wonderful too. So we don't have to we don't, Aquas don't like to be competitive. I mean, we are misconstrued as being competitive because we just like to be competitive with ourselves. We don't like with other people, but not, I think in that aspect prevents us from reaching our success a lot of times. It's because we don't be overly competitive either. But we're going to finally burst through that next year. And so with the moon card coming, it's saying that we're going to allow ourselves to reveal parts of ourselves we kept hidden. And so if it is that you've been nurturing, or like I felt very driven this month, or this month to tell my story actually, and all the hidden stuff that no one knows, all the deep stuff. And so it's a couple of episodes back, a couple Thursdays ago on my channel, you can see it, and and I'm revealing those parts, and people are like, wow, like now it makes sense, like why you're edgy. It makes sense why you speak the truth, why you don't hold back. And so I think we need as Aquas to do that more, because that we need to, like you said about the wisdom sharing, like people need to understand we have wisdom because we had a hard knock life. We've been through it, and not even just in this incarnation, but in previous incarnations. So that's just how we've evolved. And so that cycle, of course, with that, each sign will shift, where after Aquas are leadership, have leadership, then other sign will have leadership. So we all will have leadership roles. We're just at that cycle right now. It's funny I'm saying this, and the Wheel of Fortune card is there. So not only is it a closing of a karmic cycle for Aquas next year, it's a beginning of a new version, a new paradigm, like I was saying before. And a lot of that has to do with creativity. A lot of it has to do with financial rewards too. We Aquas just make money because we're good. We do. We never really think about it. But I think we're going to focus more on financial aspects too, and more the luxury. So I mean, as an Aqua, I've always made money since I was 15, and it was never hard for me to always make good money, but I never really focused on it for myself. And so I think it will become a focus, so we can do more financially, which can also expand our messaging or whatever we're participating in to be more effective, because we do need money to be more effective as well. And so we'll understand and connect those dots. And the Three of Cups is about celebration. So I think a lot of the Three of Cups too is kind of the unification of mind, body, spirit too. And it's the celebration that we really feel like we're not that we haven't been in sync with the mind, body, spirit, but we're actually conveying it now in a unified way. So that's a celebration in the sense for Aquas. And so so a lot of leadership with Aquas. So I said this in 2024 actually, that I saw Aquas and Leos switching roles, and Leos being more humanitarian and relationship oriented and under the radar, and Aquas being more like we're in the spotlight leading and and all that stuff. So interesting for Aquarius. So next up we have Pisces. Last but certainly not least, Devon, and hopefully we can get the other questions in 15 minutes, so we don't want to keep you up too late, because I know you're 2 hours ahead of me. So last but certainly not least is Pisces. Do you want to? Okay. Do I go first this one, or is it me?
You can go. I went first last time for your sign.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh dear, Pisces, where are you going? And don't next. Oh, that one just flew right out of there. I just flew out. I'm just saying, these cards have been so repetitive with a lot of these signs, and
Yep.
I've been seeing a lot of financial things. Well, okay, I'm going to take that. All right, there's a new card finally. All right, cool. Is this just for Spirit? Okay, let me pull an oracle here. Okay, because I think Pisces likes to be practical. They don't want to hear too much, fluff. They just want to hear it simple and to the point, right? So, all right, just a couple oracles. Okay. The oracles are kind of boring for you all, but okay, we got it. One more? Pleasure. Gotcha. Okay. First card was Ace of Pentacles. Now, again, calling out the obvious, there's going to be a great financial increase, but I feel like that financial increase has been well-deserved. I feel a lot of this financial increase and whatever's coming to you financially was something you've been planning on or working on. So it could be investments that need to come to fruition. It could be, things that you've been working on, projects that haven't really got its start and they get its funding. Because in conjunction, that was the Eight of Pentacles. Again, we saw this before as well. So it's saying that the hard work you've done is paying off. So you're going to feel a lot of that kind of completion when it comes to the financial sense in 2026. And also the Eight of Swords is saying that that's quick movement and success as well. So, but even though that's all the tangibles with Pisces, yeah, cool. I got that It's going well. Finance is great. What's next? What's left now? So the King of Swords. You guys are going to start feeling very, I would say, determined to find something new outside of work and finances. And that might mean you become very emotionally erratic. There might be an emotional, I don't want to say nervous breakdown. It sounds so dramatic. There might be an emotional tiff that you have sometime next year that says like, you're maybe a little cranky, but like, I got to do something about it. Like, I need something else in life. And so that's going to force you to look a little deeper. And that could be, again, that maybe you do want to start tapping into spiritual things or visit other cultures. I feel a lot of travel too, for some reason, with Pisces next year, and want to connect with different essences of finding a deeper meaning to things, instead of being so abrupt with things as well. So there's a lot of emotional change, even though we kind of said simplicity, and this can be very simple for Pisces actually, because I think this is how they want it, because it will be simple next year. You check those boxes financially and conditionally, circumstantially, Pisces, but now saying, where's the emotions now? Where's the spiritual aspect, the heart coming from now? And now you're going to feel open to that, and that's going to be the new focus, because if you don't, you're going to feel a void. There will be a thing of a void, like, yes, I got all the things I wanted, but something's missing. And we're saying, please focus on your pleasures in the sense of like, what is your heart really ticking? I hate to sound very cliche about this, but if I were to ask you, Pisces, do you really understand what it means to come from the heart? I know you may understand what it means, but do you understand how it feels to come from the heart? And that's the awakening for 2026, which means you'll find things to be more pleasurable, and you'll find things to be a lot more lighter for you all. And less, I would say, routine, less mundane. So I feel more of a exciting, airy type of energy coming in for y'all in 2026. So what do you got, Devs?
Yeah, well, that resonates with a lot of what I've been getting for Pisces. Actually, a lot of what the work they were doing in 2025 was preparing them to get out there and finally pursue some things that they're really passionate about. So I totally agree with you. It's almost like the thing that gets them off the couch and out the door is kind of unexpected, but also finally they're willing to take whatever risk that comes through for that. First, I have the 3 of Water card here, a card of celebration. But what I'm actually seeing for this intuitively, what this feels like is you're not just going for the activity, you're going for the people that are there at the activity. So there's something you're wanting to do, whether it's taking an art class or joining a group, a spiritual group, or something that you're doing that you are finally like, I've always wanted to really, really invest in my time and energy into this and getting good at it and honing this craft or whatever it is. And look what happened next. I actually like the people there. And I have this career history card here too. And I feel like what it's talking about is you haven't always had that in the past. Like you've run home as fast as you could after the forced work happy hour. It's like, everybody better be at happy hour. And you're like, oh gosh. And then you're like, you get one glass of water and you're out of there, right? Or you're there too long and then you're like exhausted the rest of the week. You're like, why did I spend the time with those people? I didn't even want to be there. And I feel like what you're realizing now, because I also have the 5 of Water card here, is you're realizing now that, you know what, you can control the narrative now. You can control when you arrive and when you leave, and you're not going to let any other circumstances affect you because you want to be there. And then there's going to be this amazing surprise. And one of the messages I got for Pisces in 2025 was that you were going to meet people through people. Like you were going to go do something and that person was going to get you a job, or you were going to go do something and that was going to be your soulmate or something like that. Now I'm seeing it like move more into like this, you have a lot more, influence on when that happens than you realize. So it's a little bit like now you're not just waiting around for the introduction. Like you're introducing yourself, or you're walking up and saying, hey, I'm looking for somebody to go, take this workshop with me or whatever. So I know that sounds kind of scary to a lot of the Pisces. I know I love my Pisces, but I know that also like the idea of having to do that is not fun, but it's actually, you guys, like, you've been through it too. You've had Saturn in your sign. It's back in there for a little bit, but it's about to be done with your sign for a little while. And I want you guys to take the lessons you've learned over the last 12 years when Neptune first went into your sign and Saturn a couple of years ago, and say, okay, how do I make this make me feel safe? when I'm out doing these new things. And then also do not allow anybody to interrupt what you're doing if you're ambivalent about it. If somebody in your life is trying to control what you're doing, and you're like, I'm not that excited about going to that workshop. I'm not that excited about this particular hobby. I want to do my thing. Please, please, please listen to that. I know you like to just go with the flow a lot of the time, but this is your chance to just break free of that, because there's a lot of people waiting to hang out with you and see how amazing you are, and you're going to like them too. So that's what I get for Pisces.
All right, so we concluded the 12 signs. So now we're going to get quickly into the questions. So guys, get your questions in now. And so we're going to not do live video right now because it's so late. But if you want to get a question in, one question, $2 question, Nina, if you can just remind people in the chat, because we don't have much, which is good. So we'll finish quickly. So get them in now before we run out of time. If you guys want to get a question in, get them in now. So what we'll do is we'll have a question here. And so you can answer, and then we'll both give our reads on that. And so we can either pull a card, or I like to just be intuitive with it. And there's one person that just wants a random card pull, so you can just pull a random card for her, and we'll keep it very quick. And then we have one live video with James Porterfield, so we'll do that toward the end to get after the question, these 3 questions. So first question is her name is Kathleen. She says, I am thankful to you and for you. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Whatever my angels and guides want me to know is I am willing to receive. I trust fully. Okay, so not a specific question. Makes it harder on us to go general. So what general messages could you pick up for? And maybe we'll do a random card pull, being that she's not has a specific question. It's maybe we could just get to see. Because she's saying whatever her guides want her to know.
Into her energy. Yeah.
Yes. And her name is Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
P.
I'm feeling a little bit around tenacity. Like your angels are asking you to trust yourself more. There's something that you're wanting to share with a loved one, and you're feeling like, oh, is this the right time? How are they gonna receive it? And is this going to finally get our relationship into the right place? And I do see things moving forward with you if you're willing to have that conversation. If there's something going on for you right now, Kathleen, that you keep catching yourself going back and worrying about, if you could please think about what the trade-off would be to finally have that conversation, to finally have that heart-to-heart, I think you're going to find that it's really worth the waiting. It's kind of like, I used to talk to my dad about this, like when I went to go resign from my first job, like the waiting to tell my boss, who I really, really liked and really respected, was way worse than actually telling her I'm quitting, and I feel like there's some energy around something it's more painful for you to not say it than to say it. So that's kind of what's coming through for me, Kathleen, that your spiritual team wants you to think about that. What about you, Scott?
Perfect. Yeah. Simple. And it's funny because I just pulled the 6 of Wands, which is a competitive, energy of like you're fighting against other people's ideas too much, and you're more concerned about what other responses will be toward you. And the 4 of Wands saying you need to take a chill pill on that. You need to start finding peace for yourself and allowing yourself to take a step back and saying, I don't need to worry about these people's opinions. I don't need to, kind of like fight against it. I don't have to defend myself all the time. And sometimes if you're on people that you have to defend yourself, perhaps you're on the wrong people. And so, and the 4 of Wands says you deserve the space to relax and to chill and to unwind. And it's in the stillness, it creates a lot of movement with the, 8 of Wands here. So, and that movement has a lot to do in other retrospects. And it feels like it's more emotional for me with you. And that emotional, movement does, connect with different relationships and so forth. But, and it's funny, the King of Pentacles came out because it's saying you need to be more practical. So like a lot of times the King of Pentacles is my practicality card. It's like putting things in gear and organizing things. And perhaps you need to organize your thoughts a little bit more too, and being practical about how much can you overextend yourself. And perhaps maybe that overextend yourself is the issue. And I think that when you look within and you understand this and give yourself a break, that's where movement happens. So, so that's an emotional read. So That's what your guides have to say for you.
Yeah,
we
thank
have a
you,
question.
Kathleen.
Yeah, thank you, Kathleen. Kathleen's a regular, so she's fantastic. And we had next questions for Jessica Duncan, and I just want to pull this up here. So the question is for Jessica: not legally married, leaving 23-year partnership with a rich narcissist. Should I walk away or fight? Let me see. Walk away or fight? Yeah, because it's not there's no marriage here. And there's a time to fight, and there's a time to, and I don't need my cards for this. Here's what I heard. When you ask about should you fight, I just don't feel like it's going to get you anywhere. And I feel like, sometimes we do have to fight and push back and do all those things. But I just feel like with this individual, and I'm taking the fact that you said narcissist out of the equation, so I'm not interfering with my read, because that could be your perceptive of this person. Sometimes people call people narcissists and they're not really a narcissist. So in this case, I do feel there's that control aspect. And I think, what you're fighting for isn't something that's necessarily going to be something that you're rewarded for either, in a sense, because of this, I would say, power dynamic. There are certain legalities I think that you can possibly go forth, but it's nothing that I would say that you want to do outside of any type of legality that I think is going to be worth your while, because I just feel this individual is very manipulative and has way more, I would say, support of those around him to support him than you might think, and he might use that support against you. So I think, again, what you're legally entitled to, just go for that very reasonably, because there's certain people you just don't want to ruffle their feathers on, because they'll take it further. And I think this individual is that type of an individual that if you do push further, they will take it further too. So I advise, stick with what you're entitled to, maybe take whatever legalities, and then, walk away in peace and with the lesson that you have about, why would you allow yourself to endure something that's, is not, nurturing of the self in that sense. But no, his energy seems very vindictive in a sense, and has a very sensitive ego. If you trample on that ego, he's going to really come back hardcore. So I would take a step back from that part of fighting. Devon, sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I what I was hearing was not fight, but ask. And I was hearing that it's almost like you need to spend some time really working with your own spiritual team and asking, what would life look like with or without certain things that you might feel belong to you. And what I find helps really well is to say, if it's in my highest interest, help me find the right time to ask for. And let's say there's something that you invested in, some furniture together or something for the home together. You're going to want to be looking for those moments where you can recognize the original relationship you had together, recognize the person that you originally fell in love with, and wait for that intuitive moment to ask. So I wasn't hearing a hard, walk away cold, don't expect anything, but I agree. I feel like it's going to come in those quiet moments when you least expect it, where you catch him a little off guard and he's not, like Scott, I did feel that about people who support him, all broed up and being oh no, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. There are going to be some moments where you could get through to him. And it's going to take some vulnerability, and it's going to take a little bit of leaving that pain at the door, even though you may feel very wronged and very how can it's not that you're changing who you are to ask, it's that you're just leaving that at the door so that you can say, hey, I mean, come on, person to person, don't you think this is more fair? And it's always good to remind them that you want it to be fair for them as well. And remember, let's make this a win-win separation. And I know, I understand you're with somebody who probably is not looking for that kind of separation. They're wanting their own vengeance. But if you have that in your mind and you work with your team, you'll probably get a door. I feel like you're going to have an opening when they are caught off guard, and you can get them to agree to something that's a little more fair. So
yeah, and I agree with you on that. And it'd be a challenge. And like I like how you said, don't change who you are, but understand you're working for yourself on that. Because I mean, the thing that will be in for him is to feel like that if you are kind of begging, he'd be like, okay, sure, I'll give you this. It gives him that sense that he does have that leverage that you can maybe humble yourself to get what you need from that if that's something you're worrying. But you fight against this person is not the way to do it. It's not with this person. Like I said, sometimes I tell people you have to fight with this person. In this case, no. But I like your addition, Devon. Thank you for that. Because, yeah, I think that because personally, I wouldn't take that approach depending on the person, but this person, I think with her, if she were to kind of utilize that sense that he does have control and can give her something and make him feel good about himself, if you could patronize him that way, it could work.
And it doesn't even have to be like necessarily manipulative as much as just like that one-on-one moment where he's not like really worked up and feeling like it's going to be a big mark on the way he appears if he gave in,
Right. Yeah. It's a tough one. I do sense the challenge there, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never easy with that much time together. There's there's a lot there.
And not being married, it really complicates the legalities of such of what you've shared. So, and I would definitely check your state laws of things of that nature too, and what's entitled and stuff. So, and
the reason that it's such a good point that you said about the not fighting is we have to remember that there's a book called The Body Keeps a Score. So even if you fought and won, your body has to go through that process. And even if you give it up, but you go through all this emotional upheaval over it, fighting with him, you still take that with you. And so that's why I was hearing have that question, talk with your higher self. Is it really worth it to my health and my physical well-being to go through that?
Right. 100%. Yeah. And some people are equipped to. Some people are like, I don't care. I'm good. I've been through a lot of crap in my life. I don't care. I'll do it. Some people have that tenacity with it and some people don't. And see where your leverage is on that spectrum of I can totally cannot and where you sit and then go act accordingly. But yeah. Okay. We have before we get to James, I did send you the link to call in. So check your Venmo. And before I do, my sister actually just wants to do a random card pull. So see
yay.
Just you do a random card pull for her. Because I know her, so
I'd love to.
And she paid for one anyways.
Aw, thank you. This is sweet. Yeah. These are fun. Random card pull.
Oh, you didn't. You have to come on my show then, because everyone makes a joke. Like I like the questions and the videos and the card pulls. And after all, I'm like, ugh, So they always laugh. And so they're like saying, "Hey, I know you love this. Here's a card pull." And I love it, but maybe you should come on and do them for me. So
it's just a fun energy. It's kind of like what our first question, where it's like, anything I need to know.
Right.
So yeah. There we go. This one came through. We have the Tower card, transformation, big changes coming through. I feel like the three came out together, so you're getting a bonus here. Because I also have the Moon card, and look at that, 2 of fire. Yeah, I'm feeling a big transformation in the way that you're using your passions and the things that you're going for in 2026. And I'm seeing really, really good things as far as you revealing things to those around you. So if there's anything you've been kind of working on and quietly in the background or thinking about doing, I think in 2026 you're going to see an opportunity to reveal it, and you're going to get people are really going to like it. So something you're working on, something you want to start, something you want to do. So love that for you.
Well, I'll tell you this, she's up for a promotion and up for a bonus. So bing, bing. Oh, wow. I'll just tell you. So I know that. Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
why I'm like, you pull. So, yeah. All right. So we have James here backstage, but let me just answer a question real quick. Someone says if we record the readings, this live is being recorded and will be on my YouTube channel afterwards. Most of my viewers watch it after the live, and so you can catch it back. But my private sessions, Zoom sessions, are recorded on Zoom if you want to have it on your end. But they're never. My private sessions are never posted. Hell no. But yeah, if you book a private session, those you can record the Zoom session on your end and save save it, but no, they're never posted anywhere without your permission. Only the live shows, because you agree to come on live, and so hey, it's out there, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's bring James Thix here. So we're gonna have 3 of us on the screen. If you can add him, there he is. How's it going? How's it going, James? So mindful of our energy, James Porterfield. We've been on all night, so be easy on us, okay? And we'll be easy on you. So where would you like us to begin?
Well, I guguess just to make it kind of, Luke, I love you.
Let me see if I can raise your volume. The volume is very low here.
Here, hold on.
Let me see if I can increase you.
Is that better?
It's a little better, yeah.
I was trying to mic over here. I don't.
Oh yeah, bring it close. Who cares if we see it? Yeah, bring it clear closer. Yeah, it's so much better. This way I don't have to like fuddle with it on my end. Yeah, there you go. That's cool. No, we don't hear you now. No, it's off. Oh God, I shouldn't have told him to touch it. I should just tell him to keep it there. Keep it there. No. I heard a little click. There it goes.
There, I did.
Okay,
I got a good light.
Yes, there we go. Okay, so just talk into it. You don't have to hold it. And yeah, where do you want to? What's your question for us?
Well, I guess the best question I'd like to ask both of you right now is, I know that I'm getting that things are coming online. I'm starting to feel more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the amount of, just going and making a purchase and, the total is 777, or I made another purchase the other day and it was 1331. Okay. My thing is it comes so fast and my brain goes so quickly. I've got ADD brain, and it's the best way I just heard it described was it's like having a car for a brain, and I have a Ferrari engine and Model T brake, right? So I get going really fast, and so it's like when I try to analyze or ask myself, like, is it a sign or what's the message here? I've gone so many thoughts. I'm already down the path before I'm going, what the fuck did that mean? Oh, sorry, what did that mean? What was the message there? So I guess maybe tips or guides, because I've tried to sit there and like journaling and stuff, but the pen meets paper and all of a sudden words just become challenging to form and comes out as frustration. I'm just I hate this shit.
Let me ask you a question. If you go to a birthday party, do you question why there's blue balloons?
Not necessarily.
Because you understand it's a party and there's balloons and, there's just balloons, right? And so a lot of times in life, like just a synchronicity, just say, hey, you're connected, or hey, you're just in sync. It's just a celebration where you're at, And so a lot of times when we see the angel numbers, we see the synchronicity, we should look at the state of being we're in when we see them. Because the state of being we're in when we see them, we could have been connected, feeling good, not being in fear, not overthinking, hint, hint. And therefore it's confirmation to continue in that light, in that energy. Remember the challenge you were having before, how panicked you were about it. What did I say to you? It's going to resolve. I'm telling you, it's going to turn around. They're not going to, it was a legal thing too. I'm not going to tell you about it, just for privacy. And look what happened.
It doesn't matter.
They're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're not gonna have to leave, right? And so you don't always have to jump the gun on things. Sometimes receive it for what it is. Right? And the more you receive for what it is, then Spirit's like, okay, we'll give you a little bit more that's clear, a little bit more is clear, a little bit more that's clearer. So you can learn how to just accept it for what it is in that sense. And then once you do, then you'll understand how you could be in sync, how you can take the mind to be in sync with your soul and spirit, versus letting the mind drive the show and clunk it around until like it gets exhausted, and then the soul's like, oh yeah, that's what it is, right? So start with just saying, taking it for the nod and the wink that the universe is giving you first now, and take it for what it is. What's your voice on that, Devon?
Well, hey, James, great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
So, there's two things that were coming through for me. I agree with Scott. I feel like you're working too hard to interpret the signs, so you're missing a lot of it.
James,
but
no.
I do. But I have two things that came through for me. So, first of all, do you draw at all? Do you like to draw?
I'm not. I haven't been. No, I'm not. I'm artistically. I'm challenged for sure.
Okay, I want you to start doodling. I want you to get a notebook. You can get the cheapest one out there for, go to the dollar store, whatever. And I want you to intentionally sit down and ask for a sign. I just want you to doodle. I don't want you to do anything else. Just spend like 1 minute doodling and asking for a sign. If you get something, fine. If you don't, go on and do something else. Because the next thing I'm hearing for you to do is to make it a game. Again, it's been that you're working too hard and you're feeling like, what if I get this wrong? What if I missed it? What if I'm, about to really get myself in trouble here? Or what if I'm being disrespectful to the signs that are coming through? And your spiritual team wants you to have fun with this. It's actually supposed to be fun. And they love it when you get it. And when you, just seeing the angel number, they're like, yay! So be like, yay, I saw it. And then if you can write it in your journal, if you do remember what you were thinking about when you saw it, try to write that down. But make it more fun and playful. And I think you're going to release a lot of this. You basically started blocking yourself. You're right. You are coming online, but you've got to make it more fun and more playful.
Yeah. And I found the boxes that I thought I had lost. Like 6 months ago, I was just like, I couldn't have been that stupid to leave it where I left it when I had it was doing some appraisal, but I couldn't find it in the house. I looked everywhere, and I swear I looked where I found it. But I was on the phone with my friend, and I just was like, the subject of the silver came up, and just like, man, I really wish I could find it. And then all of a sudden, it was just like a voice of or just that vision of it might look in your laundry room upper cabinet stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. I went and looked. The first one, no, it was just like, no, next one. And I was like, and I'm like, oh shit, there it is.
Good.
Damn.
So, but you didn't think that through. That was something that you felt through. Like, I feel it's this, and so understand that's you talking to you. The synchronicity is you talking to you too. So it's like it doesn't. And sometimes we'll get messages from our guides or messages from those that we love in spirit. But in the beginning, when you're finding yourself, it's just results. The synchronicity is just a result of you being in tune. So I want you to take that as the message, James. Hello. I want you to take that as I know I'm teasing. I'm teasing, but I want you to take that as a message. Yeah, I know it's beautiful, but I want you to take the message that first you're in sync. And I love your story you just said about how it's over here. You felt it too, and so you can distinguish the differences between I'm overthinking and going in the loop versus I'm actually feeling something more natural and fluid, right? And when you're in the more natural and fluid, you'll see the signs all over the place, the numbers all over the place. They don't necessarily have to mean anything specific, but that in itself is specific. Right, and then you get to extrapolate. Oh, there's a 1111, or there's a 333 is some significance deeper for me. You'll get that there in time, but right now the universe just wants to show you. Yeah, celebrate. You're in that modality of thinking. Exactly. You're in that essence. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have more fun with it. Don't worry that you're missing something huge. In fact, that is some of the best ways to get those downloads is you're just on the phone with a friend and then boom, it comes through. So give yourself credit for that because you were basically making a game out of it in a little bit of a way with your brain. Your brain was busy on the phone and then here came the information. So
I did follow the feeling because I felt it and I was I'm on the phone and I was just and something in me just said, pardon the language. I was just fuck it, let's go check.
Yeah.
No, of course, but that's what you want to continue to train yourself to do. And, Spirit will set you up with little things. You'll lose something and then set you up to feel it out so you understand like what that just happened to you. Sometimes Spirit will set you up for a little test that way to help teach you in that way. And I love that you said, Devon, about it doesn't always have to be a big thing. It's like, when I was back in the day, I was pushed into the big things of the supernatural, and so I understand what big is. But to me, the definition of big changed for me. Being in sync is big for me, right? When we're like looking for the supernatural, we're looking for the ghosts and the big and the spooky things and the big mariachi bands coming from the heavens. But it's like the fact of being in tune is what should be big for you, James. Right? The fact that you know that like, hey, I'm starting to become familiar with feeling, that should be the big for you, not so much of an external thing. Because I know a lot of times you're looking for external, who else is teaching me, who else is telling me, who else is giving. It's like, you got to go with yourself and say, I'm connecting, I'm feeling, because that's the bigness. That's the bigness.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No, I don't want to take up too much time. I know
you have one more question. You have one more question. You can find if you. I'm surprised you're doing well with the short of words. So I'm so proud of you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm usually so long-winded, right? I'm like,
But it's good. You make some great changes. But yeah, quick question before we wrap up.
I guess the only thing might be is just I kind of asked earlier today. I was like, if there was anything that my mom or angels and guides.
Your mom said specifically that she was the one that helped to intervene with your home. And she was the one that helped to make that in gear, because I feel like she says that's one thing I feel like she promised you was to have the security, especially after she passed. And so that was a lot of her doing. And that's why I was so certain that things were, and so she's extremely proud of you, especially the work you've been doing by yourself and that you've been doing good by yourself, she's saying. So she's extremely proud of you in this way. And, it's funny because I pulled the High Priestess and the Lover's card. So, your mom might be sending you a little love interest at some point in the next 4 or 5 months. Okay,
not
so
Luke,
not Luke, a human. I know our dogs are the loves of our lives, but we'll stick it to the human species. But I feel like that you're going to feel a soul connection with someone coming soon, and she might be the intervention for doing so in this. Is there an anniversary coming soon too, or just past, like a death anniversary or someone's anniversary? What's that?
Yeah, it was mom. It was the second year, my second anniversary of mom's passing in August.
Oh, just passed? Okay, yeah, because you're saying that, did you do something, like light a candle for her or something, and did you do something to remember her?
I didn't, like I wanted to.
So that's the question. That's questioning, okay. That's what, yeah, but she's, because what I'm feeling, your mom was to relieve you of whatever that was because of this, whatever. So you didn't have to, just keep her present. Don't put an emphasis on an anniversary. Don't put an emphasis on a specific day. Just like keep her present when you want to, and I feel like you're hard on yourself with these things, and at the end of the day, this anniversary is an anniversary. It's not really the end all be all of her life and her experience, right? So it's day to day that she gets to celebrate with you, in that sense. So, because I felt like there was like that with the death anniversary, there was like you were beating yourself up about something, and she's just saying like, don't do this, like don't do this with my son, like stop doing this, snap out of it, So she's proud that you've been doing that.
Yeah, I was the summer I was definitely brutal on myself because I just I was wishing that I had a little bit more understanding about how easy it was to go make a couple grand doing something. I've been out of the work for so long that when I had to go back, when I worked last time, it's 30, 40 hours a week or 60, 40, 50 hours a week just to earn $500 a week. And it's almost like now I've learned I can earn $1,000 in a week doing, DoorDash stuff. It's not, it's because I have complete control of my schedule that I do that. But it was like, if I was just like, man, James, if you just would have had that understanding, if mom would have kicked you out the house and said, go earn a little money between 2020 and 2023.
But why do you think that issue? But why do you think? But why do you think that whole fiasco happened to you before? To give a kick in the nuts a little bit? okay? But then to show you, okay, got you in that essence, but then you're okay to get you to learn. So really quickly, Devon, what is the quick message you have from his mom? And then we can wrap it up.
Well, I definitely was getting that she wants you to stop burdening yourself with shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, she wants you to be done with that. Like, you are way too hard on yourself on everything. And she wants you to start looking at things as, this is my next phase. And you're going to learn with everything you do. And you're not stuck in anything new you do. So the more that you focus on basically changing the narrative of, oh, I wish I'd done this, to I get to go do this now. So just try to start saying, I get to do this. That's what your mom wants you to do. And she wants you to come out of, I was hearing also about getting to meet new people, this hermit card here. She wants you to start getting out there more and meeting more people and doing new things in a way, because you're going to realize, oh, wow, like I have so much to offer and I've been kind of hiding it away and kicking myself for things. And so, this is your new chapter. And that's really the main message right there is, James, this is your new chapter. That's what she's saying to you. So she's excited for you.
All right, James. Well, congratulations. You're definitely in a new rhythm. So congratulations for being in this new rhythm. So it's definitely a difference from, I would say, 6 months ago. So good job.
Well, I mean, thank you, Scott. Devon, I mean, from Angel Intuitive back in 2024. I mean, I'm grateful for both of you.
I appreciate we appreciate you. That and
Thank
and
you. I'm grateful for you too, James.
Yes, and I talk to you like a brother, right? I give you the kick in the nuts sometimes too, and because but I want you to feel that too. It's like it doesn't have to be so serious too. It could be like that simple, like get over it, So and the fact that you've been very open to that tells me that your soul needs a little bit of that too. So that's why I feel like I've been kind of like kicking you in the butt like a brother, and you do have brothers and sisters here that that are here to support you too. Especially everyone in the chat is always. Every week is so supportive of each other. And so, and I do feel like, again, there's an interest coming soon. So, all right. Thanks, James. Have a beautiful night.
Good to see you.
Ciao. Love you.
Bye, James.
All right, Devon. So we've concluded. We went longer than expected, but I want you to tell us about what special offer that you have. Let me see if I can get this on screen here. It might block you off a little bit. So tell us about this.
Well, I've updated. I have version 2 of my ebook released. Is It a Sign? And if you sign up for my free newsletter at devonduerr.com, you can. I'm all over the place. You can get. There we go. I was just covering you. You can get my free ebook, Is It a Sign, if you sign up for my free newsletter, devonduerr.com. Plus, stay up to date on my new videos that I release every week. I have my live on my YouTube channel, Devon Duerr, at 11 a.m. every Central live. But, of course, you can catch the recording. But if you haven't already signed up for my free newsletter, please get my gift to you. Because as we were just talking about with James, in this book, I talk about 5 things to do if you think you've seen a sign, to help you interpret it. And it's a great, intro way to start honing your intuitive skills, which you're all asked to do for starting now until beyond. It's all about intuition, you guys.
To be honest, we're kind of tired now, so the words are kind of coming out.
Infinity and beyond.
Right, I love it. So thank you so much for coming on, Devon. It's a pleasure. We'll have to do it again sometime soon again. Maybe we'll overload ourselves with 12 signs, a collective read, and live readings. Maybe we'll do something more simplified.
2026. It deserves a big show,
It does. And it will definitely have its shelf life for a while. So I love when you said that. So that's a good idea. So will you stick backstage while I close things up with the audience here, and we could just close out? So it'll be like 2 seconds. I love you so much, my sister.
Love you so much. Love everybody. Thanks for being here. See you next time.
Good night. See you in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, how can I go back to here? There we go. I forgot. I'm like tired, guys. Thank you all for stopping by. And again, guys, remember this week, as we said earlier, okay, there's gonna be some irritations coming your way. Stop yourself. If you react, say, should I react? Do I need this? Check in and understand those irritations are just little things that are in the crevices of your subconscious that are coming out that need attention. So give it attention. Give it some nurturing. If you didn't check out last night's episode of Leading Out Loud, it's kind of a kooky show. It's getting kooky these days. Check it out. It's recorded on my show. And if not, check me out every Thursday, as you know, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what I'm doing next Thursday for a topic, but I'll let you guys know. I was kind of not planning anything yet, but we'll see what comes up. But those of you who want to book a one-on-one session with me, scottcruzpm.com. One-on-one life readings, of course. Each personal reading is very much in-depth, geared towards you. Mediumship sessions, as well as intuition builder session as well, available. scottcruzpm.com. I just opened up November. My newsletter goes out tomorrow morning. It'll be in your inbox. So check me out there. And so remember, you're all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love, guys. See you next week.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit, bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.